High Phrase Podcast, Alite, ACDJ, and we got the one and only,
the man,
Sikadime in the place.
Pleasure to be here, guys.
Dude, this has been way too long, man.
Yeah, it's been over 2 years since we last seen each other.
It's crazy.
Yeah, last time we saw each other was the Beatnuts show.
Right.
When you came out to support me.
Yeah. Oh, it was a great night, man. Beatnuts
I
always
threw
put on
my
a great show,
chains
too.
out, man. I threw my chains out to cats.
You were on one.
wow,
You were on one.
I was hyped, man.
Yeah, you were live.
wow.
Yeah, and one thing I've had an opportunity to watch you a few different times, dude. You go hard on your live show.
I appreciate that.
Dripping with sweat when you leave, and what's the catchphrase at the end? You have a catchphrase that you always use at the end of your shows. These sexy fuckers.
Oh, stay fresh to death and fucking gorgeous, y'all.
Stay fresh to death and fucking gorgeous, y'all. Woo, love it.
That's how he pumps up the followers.
And you know, I'll give you guys, because it goes back to manscaping, gorgiosity.
Gorgiosity.
Okay, so a long time ago down in L.A., a buddy of mine, he very metrosexual. He gets his arms waxed and all that. I'm like, what, here I am, I'm like,
those LA fuckers.
I was like, what the fuck, right? And it's just like, man, if you look good, smell good, dress good,
Facts.
women,
You don't have to sleep in your
more
car that night.
attract to that. Yeah.
Facts. Big
If you ain't smelling like you came from a gym
Yeah.
and smelling fresh to death, you got gorgiosity.
Beautiful.
Gorgiosity?
Gorgiosity.
Sikadime,
you make
Sikadime
that? You're
language.
like a word maker, eh?
No, it was actually my boy J Plot. He came up with
That's
that
a good
word.
one. That's a good one.
There's some E40s language.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
beautiful. Yeah, man.
So, and then I flipped it and said, you know what? Stay fresh to death and fucking gorgeous, y'all. Everybody got to be gorgeous.
Hell yes. Self-love.
So
yeah,
true.
man. Like
Yeah.
the world is such a downer of a place, gorgiosity.
How have you been handling the downturn since COVID?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I became a father during COVID.
Congratulations.
COVID,
So,
baby.
yeah. We got out from the hospital before the whole shutdown of COVID.
That must have been scary, though.
Yeah, it was, because he came out 2 months premature, too.
Oh, he came up premature?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, so now you guys are high alert.
Yeah. And he had like a little skull fracture, too. Got stuck in the canal. So they had to do
Jesus.
emergency
Fucking kids,
sec.
man. They got a rough go, eh, coming to the
Dude,
world.
women got a rough go.
Yeah. I almost lost my
Jeez.
wife, man.
Really?
Yeah, her
It's
blood pressure
terrifying.
was through. I'm like, Doc, get her into into ER right now,
Mm-hmm.
like emergency C-sec.
Oh, so they had to do emergency C-section.
Scary
Oh,
shit, man.
that's terrifying. Can you imagine, man?
I think all births should be C-section, though. Like,
It's headed that way.
it should be.
More and more women are having C-section births for sure. But dude, can you imagine, man? They remove your organs out of your body.
Yeah, I almost passed out when I was.
Oh, you
I was in watching. I was holding Alina's hand, like filming her, and I see all the blood, and I'm like,
Dude, they literally have to remove your intestines and shit to
Yeah,
get to
get
this
the baby.
womb and remove and like. Okay, we were very blessed. Rosie had 2 natural births, and my doctor is really fucking cool. And for my daughter, he let me pull her out.
oh, that must
Too much.
And I don't get squeamish or that doesn't faze me at all. But so Rosie's going through this horrible pain, and everybody else in the room is happy, smiling, celebrating, laughing, joking. Rosie's mom's putting makeup on and stuff. Everyone's so excited because the baby's coming, and Rosie's just pushing, and the doctor just goes to me, "Do you want to pull her out?" I was like, "What?" It's like, actually remove her. Like, hell yeah! So he did the head.
Yeah.
For the first part of the shoulders, and then I actually got to remove the baby.
Oh.
Dude, I cannot even explain to you the
She
feeling.
didn't slide away and slip like a little.
Not right into my arms perfectly.
Uh-huh.
And the craziest thing was how hot the body was.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize that I was like coming out of an oven, and I'm holding it like really hot, and I'm excited, going crazy, and Rosie's like writhing in pain. Men really get it way too easy in this process.
It's the heat that makes you bust the nut, though. I'm sorry to say that, but that's why, because it's so hot in there. Like, I'm sorry, right? And then that's why
You gotta be
the
sorry.
baby comes out.
Oh no, I'm totally clean. I even quit smoking, guys.
Shit. Okay, we need to get to the heart of this interview.
Congratulations, man. That's dope.
Okay.
Quit smoking.
What happened? What happened in your life besides a child
That was it.
that made you take such an amazing graphic turn in your life? Dude, you're taking a turn in your life after 50 albums.
50
right? This
albums.
gentleman here has 50 albums. under his name. And he is a workaholic when it came to the music industry, the music biz for past 25, 30 years.
Almost 30 years.
30
Non-stop.
years, bro.
I released my first cassette when I was 10, independently.
Jeez.
Out in Victoria, man. There used to be like a little shop in Langford. I popped my cassette in there, 10 songs.
It's amazing.
It was back then when you could press a cassette for like,
Yeah.
$1.27, $1.27. And I flipped it around. The toonie just came out, so I'm selling them for a toonie. All right, so
Toonie just came out.
That's
yeah.
wild. It's wild. So what did you? Because would you say you were having trouble quitting cigarettes?
Yeah, I was. So when Alina got pregnant, she quit cold turkey, right? Me, I'm like, okay, by my birthday, I'll be done. Well, it kind of lingered a little bit. And then the New Year came. We went over to see her mom on Christmas Day, and I said to her, I'm like, wouldn't it be awesome if your water broke and we didn't have to go see your mom? Well, what happened 2 hours after we get the seashell? Her water broke.
Wow.
So, like, she gets air vac back to New West,
Oh,
right?
damn.
I'm still stuck over there with the car, and I'm like, okay. I'm smoking my brains out, like, panicking of, like, there goes my wife and baby, and I'm still stuck over here till the 6 a.m. ferry.
Crazy.
And I literally smoked myself to sickness that I just couldn't have a cigarette anymore after that.
Damn.
Wow, that's intense. That's the mixture of a traumatic, dramatic moment mixed with, like, you get this self-awareness. I've had this. That's happened. You get this weird self-awareness in a moment of trauma, and it feels like that moment stretched out for a long time, but it's really just your brain switching over. But you live that moment so deeply that you come out of it a changed man.
Yeah.
And that's what happens.
Well, I said that in the new year I was going to be completely done anyway, but I just literally couldn't handle.
Damn.
I even that February 2020, right? Got in a little car accident. Went to go have a cigarette. I couldn't even get into it because I was just like, nope, can't do it.
So it was kind of meant to be almost.
Yeah.
Smoking yourself to the point where you hate the way cigarettes taste.
It's insane.
Damn. It's intense.
Yeah.
Though I will admit that weed does smell good.
It does
Dude.
taste good.
High phrase, only the best, Joe.
Yes.
Only the best greens.
Yes.
It's crazy. I can't tell you how many times already we've had people message afterwards and say, yo, man, I got to get some of those high phrase greens.
Yes.
But we can't disclose everything,
The
y'all.
secret connect.
Some things that make us, high phrase.
So, of all your 50 albums that you made, all right, which one was the most fun of all of them?
The most fun.
You got 50 experiences that most people will never experience in their life. You have 50 of them.
You know what? When I moved back to BC, I think pretty much the most relaxed, I've been the last few albums. Like Going the Distance. I didn't think Going Distance would do how it did with me being like introduced into the scene out here, right? But the Wooden Spiral Staircase, what features Alite, Vicious, Mocha
It's a dope
Only,
album.
Tyro James. That was a nice album that just smoothly came together. Which you need to get on your publishing about. We're going to talk about publishing as well.
For sure. So,
And then when it came to Losers, Rejects, and Renegades, it's just like,
It's your newest.
I knew there was old tracks I had, and then there was new stuff, and I'm like, this ain't going to work with this album, this ain't going to work with this album, let's keep it, and then, unfold. I really just wanted to make a lo-fi type hip-hop album, but with some West Coast style and flair, so...
So are these ones that didn't make the albums, and then you made them into a compilation here?
Well, that's the thing. There was... it's not so much a compilation. Like, the only old track on there is Brand New Shit. Then, Pushing a Panda for a Swing, that was recorded for another album on a different beat. And then I said, you know what? I like it with this beat and remixed it, redid vocals, and
So is this your? Would you say this is your last one?
yeah, that's the last one, man.
You got no more hip hop in you.
No more. It's more. It's more
I
the.
don't know.
It's more the business side of things. I can still spit bars. I can still.
Oh, I
I'm
know
still,
it is.
I'm still producing for other cats, but I'm
Mhm.
just not in it as if gearing up to release an album, go on tour, and all
Right.
that. Right.
Well, okay, we've obviously fast forwarded a lot. Let's go way back. And for you, way back is different because, like you said, at the age of 10, you were putting out your first product. What age do you remember being exposed to hip hop for the first time, and who was the artist?
Oh man, I'll tell you straight up. Let's go back to Oliver and Company, Walt Disney movie. Right within the first 5 minutes of the movie, you hear hip hop.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You hear a hip hop beat from this guy walking down New York City street.
Oliver and Company.
Yeah, before
dude,
Billy
New York
Joel and the
City,
song
yeah.
break out,
Yeah,
But yeah, so
That's
that
crazy. It's a good memory, man.
Young MC, Bust a Move.
Oh, shit, yeah.
But the one song that like took me and hooked me was off my mom's Dance Mix 91 tape, OPP by Naughty by Nature.
Oh wow!
And I still got that cassette.
There's always one, right? Like I feel like everyone that's a hip hop fan has that one moment where a song just hits them and fucks them up. Don't know that music could do that to you. That's what G thing did to me. It fucked me up. Couldn't stop playing it over and over again.
Yeah.
OPP, Naughty by Nature.
OPP. And then, well, that was the thing. Like my dad said, if I'm going to listen to hip hop or listen to music, right? That Christmas, they got me a keyboard, right? And you've probably seen it in my like throwback pictures, Christmas, and like my first keyboard is actually the album cover for Since Elementary, the Beat Tape album.
Nuts, man.
Sitting there with my first keyboard,
Wow, crazy.
7 years old, just like
What did it have the automatic beat on it?
yeah, it had
The
the
presets.
automatic beat,
and
and
then
then I
you
would
just kind
do
of fucking R&B out
Jam
on
out.
it.
Yeah.
Right,
Exactly.
the beat. Yeah, shit, that's funny.
So are your parents musical?
no. That's the surprising thing. Like my mom could kind of sing, like she would sing Stevie Wonder to me, but
But what did they listen to in the house? Like, did they listen to music?
oh, it
They were
was
70s, 60s, 70s kids, right? So
they had me late in life. They were
wow.
so yeah, they were the 60s, 70s, but also the 80s. So like my mom, I always say like my household was like this, East versus West. My mom loved LL Cool J, Fat Boys,
Oh, so they were in the hip hop.
Yeah, my dad was in the Navy, right? So like the Navy guys were very
Hard.
rowdy,
Yeah.
music, hip hop music blaring, like
Yeah.
fuck the police, and getting you pumped up. So like when I got into hip hop, my dad's just like, oh, you're going to listen to Ice-T,
Yeah.
because that's what we're
That's
listening
the
to
real
on the
shit.
shit.
That's the real shit.
Facts.
Well, because he's like, I
Yeah.
know who he is. Like I've seen. Trespass was one of my favorite, my dad's favorite movies, right? So
Classic
him, Ice Cube, right? So
Colors.
Colors. So it's like
hard.
I got the West from my dad, the East from my mom.
Damn.
Damn, that's crazy.
Great
My
influence.
parents didn't listen to any rap growing up.
Nah, my parents
I had
hated that shit.
Everything but rap. But that was like into the 80s, right? Like rap didn't really come around to the mid to late 80s.
Man, when
Yeah.
I opened up for Snoop Dogg in Hamilton, man, I took my mom to that concert.
Oh, that's dope.
Well, and Snoop is so unique like that because he kind of crosses all age groups, right?
Yeah.
Like my mom is
his
in her
tempo.
my mom is in her late 60s and she knows who Snoop Dogg is.
Well, it was kind of funny that show because like Socrates and my mom were talking, and
Shout out Socrates.
she loves his cologne, and I always tease him once in a while about it, right? Because he remembers her. Like I'm tight with Shot Claire, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah, dude,
like,
you official, man.
yeah. So like I've known
Stamped.
Shot Claire since I was like 15.
Damn. Shout out Shot Claire, man. Ill Canadian MC.
I liked his fucking.
Oh, he's
music.
dope.
Yeah.
Shot Claire's dope, man.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like I got to open up before In Essence, and then Shot Claire, Socrates. But I lost my mom at that show, and I
wow.
ended up finding her at Snoop Dogg's bus.
That's
Oh, that's hilarious. That's dope.
So,
Snoop's got that
Those are
effect on
memories,
people.
man.
but my mom was like, she never blazed, and she came out of that concert stoned. I'm driving her home, and she's like, "Watch out for that dog!" And it's not even a dog cow gets the plants in the meridian.
Oh, that's so funny.
Down in Hamilton
Snoop
Street.
will do that to you, man.
Man, I would love for my mom to smoke weed. It's never gonna happen, but I would love for my
I
mom to
smoked
smoke
weed
weed.
with my mom once.
Crazy, eh?
Yeah,
So-
it was weird.
Yeah, my mom loves that memory because like she got some pictures and I got some pictures from the Kodak, but nothing really turned out.
So
It's wild, man, because I grew up same era as you guys, and my parents was like a lot of Bollywood, and my dad for some reason liked Motown. Yeah.
yeah, Motown and
My,
Bollywood.
my,
went
da- my
together.
dad liked Stevie, Michael Jackson,
Yeah.
Lionel Richie, so I got a lot of that stuff. So my initial exposure to any kind of black music was R&B, soul.
Oh, dude, like my thing with my parents was always like my dad was Prince, my mom was Michael Jackson,
Ooh,
Yeah.
right?
wild.
But I'm also with the old music too, like the whole Motown and so like the Supremes, like my dad had Love Child, original
Yeah.
vinyl,
I love all
German
that shit.
press from overseas. It's
Damn.
like
Wow, I love all that shit.
Al Green and
yeah.
crazy.
Smokey Robinson, my hero, right?
of a cloud.
Cruising.
No, Tracks of My Tears. I got to see Smokey perform at Niagara Falls View
Oh,
Casino,
wow.
man.
That's dope.
That's a legend
And-
right there.
Yeah.
Hands
Jeez.
down,
He's
best
amazing.
performance I ever saw.
So, okay, what's your choice, MJ or Prince?
Me, it's always been Prince, just because of the
Damn.
musical genius he
is a
was.
fucking genius.
And if Purple Rain or Sign of the Times live concert is on, I stop everything to watch those two.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal. What about you, MJ or Prince?
Wow, that's a tough one.
I know,
You
I
never
know.
asked me this question
No,
before.
this is the first.
This is the first time. I have to say, of pure music, like just genius, it's Prince of
And-
all time.
I like to add all the acts that came from Prince's
Prince,
camp.
yeah.
Sheila
Oh, for
E.
sure.
Yeah.
Apollina.
Yeah.
Sheena
The
Easton.
time.
Sheena Easton.
Sheena Easton.
Yeah.
You know?
Morris
You know,
Day,
Morris
man.
Day.
Morris
Oof.
Day.
Oh, way, oh, way, oh.
So talented.
But
And they're all super unique, too.
Yeah.
None of them are conventional
but
artists.
I choose Michael Jackson.
Really?
Yes.
Same.
Even though I say that Prince is I think 10 times more talented than Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson just had enough
It's the
of
melodies.
this in the package with the melody that makes him
You know what it is for me, man?
Unforgettable.
Growing up, Prince, I wasn't ready for Prince.
Yeah.
He was way too
he
evolved
was
for
a
me.
little bit more for me.
He was way too evolved for
Yeah.
me. I was the easy
Yeah.
listening. I hate saying easy listening, but
No, it's true.
The easy listening melodies that MJ, the melodies that MJ can create are haunting. It's the shit that fucking it just doesn't leave your brain, right?
Yeah, especially Lady in My Life. If you listen to that one, just alone in the dark, then you know what I'm going to say.
Oh,
All right?
jeez.
But I will tell you guys this. Take in Prince's Come album.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
what era Prince is this?
It's 1990.
Yeah. It's
The last-
just before The Artist.
Okay.
It's the last album before he turned into The Artist.
It's a very dark album,
Yeah,
like
it was
New
very
Jack
dark.
Swing.
Oh,
all
I love that shit.
But it's such a
He played all the instruments on it.
Yeah,
like,
that's wild, man.
he played all the instruments, but something I can't remember.
it's such a gangster album.
Dude,
Yeah.
he's considered by so many people to be one of the greatest guitar players ever to
Yeah.
ever play a guitar.
I put him above Jimmy.
Ooh.
Well, you look at what I don't like about, and this is what I don't like about music. They
Mm.
gave fucking, what's his name, Beck Album of the Year about 2 years ago. He played every single instrument on his album, and they called him a genius. And I'm
Mm-hmm. Yep.
thinking, like, fuck, Prince has been doing that for fucking 30 years of his life.
For real.
He would hire studio bands and guys to come in and just play background and shit to his instruments.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they just play a company.
Fill in the track.
Like, the guy was a musical genius, and he got absolutely no recognition. Man.
Yeah, he didn't really
Except
get
for
the
Purple
respect.
Rain, he
I
got
mean,
it.
obviously he had fans. Obviously he sold millions of records, but like
Yeah.
legendary esteem, Prince definitely.
Because Michael was too
Way
big.
up there.
Michael Starr was
Let
too
me
big.
put it like this. I'd rather go to Paisley Park than Neverland.
Yeah. I don't want to. You might not. Fuck, who knows what happened in Neverland? Get set up for something.
Actually, did you see the news? Everything got dismissed this past week.
Yeah,
What
again, Mike,
all
the
those
charges
cat-
against Mike.
all those charges.
Again dismissed. Again
Yeah.
dismissed.
So he got exonerated.
You know what that means then, right?
Yeah.
It's time to reinvent Michael Jackson in a hologram 3D model because that's the perfect identity we can capture every single nation in the world with our brand new technology that's going to change interaction with human beings. We're going to create the very first Michael Jackson lifelike similar hologram that we're going to put out in concerts. And then we're going to get people used to it, and they're going to enjoy it. And then we're going to create actors. And then we're going to take away real people. Then your best friend's going to be a fucking hologram. And all of a sudden, you're a hologram. And you're like, how do I turn myself off?
I thought G.I. Joe as a kid was my friend.
The whole time you said, the only thing I was really thinking, oh, all right, the cycle of images. When you said, all I was really thinking is, as an artist, MJ makes what's considered pop music, right?
Yeah.
You call it pop music. But when you listen to the music, this shit's not pop, man.
No.
You listen to what he's saying, and he's speaking out against climate change in the 90s, speaking out against racism in the 80s and the 90s, speaking about gang violence. All of his music was like for real, well-written, kind of revolutionary music for its time, man. Black and white's revolutionary.
Okay, but let's take it with Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wrote songs, but who was producing his songs? Quincy Jones. Michael Jackson wouldn't be anywhere without Quincy. But Prince would be where he is because he's Prince. He
MJ at his best is with Quincy, but even before Quincy, MJ had a fucking pretty dope run of music. Yeah, Off the Wall is a lot of people consider Off the Wall his best album ever.
Let's go before Off the Wall. Let's go Forever
Jackson
Michael.
5.
Yeah.
Oh right.
Forever.
He had
Michael.
four. He had four
Dude,
solo.
this guy's
Michael had 4 solo albums before Off the Wall.
Nice, buddy. Forever Michael. Wow. Forgot about all that.
He had 4 solo albums before Off the Wall. I don't know why people consider Off the Wall as first. Like,
because it was
was
real
successful.
studio album.
And it was really successful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, the songs crossed over, man. They had huge crossover potential. Those the Off the Wall music. Yeah. Off the Wall by itself was such a massive hit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really, disco was the only black music people were other than black were listening to. Right? Like it was considered black music.
Yeah.
That's
All
what
music is
called,
black
right?
music.
Yeah.
All music is black music.
Yeah, but that's when it got started actually getting recognized. Oh,
Yeah.
we got this? Okay, dude, let's build on that shit. Unleash the rap shit now. Right? Well, we got it. Right?
Like,
but I will admit my favorite Michael album is Dangerous.
Really? Dangerous?
This is a great album. It's a great album.
Oh,
Yeah. It's Thriller for me. Thriller's
Thriller.
I
Right?
got-
changed me completely.
I got my new whip, right? But my new whip doesn't have a CD player. My Michael CD is.
Yeah, it's all device, right?
Yeah.
It's all smartphones.
I was like, damn, I can't play my Michael CD.
Yeah,
But I got Thriller in the whip. Like, I have 5 CDs that never leave the whip.
Dude, can you imagine how much work we had to go through to carry fucking music with us everywhere?
Yeah.
Bibles of... Did you ever do that?
I was a DJ, yeah.
So you had the big ass book
When
that
I
you turned...
started DJing,
Oh,
it
Dude,
was
look,
CD
I gave you
DJs.
Vine. I gave you my
Dude.
vinyl.
We're going to talk about this stuff that you brought us.
This is beautiful.
No,
So
you bring it up. We might as well talk about this.
So you
because-
you did the whole CD books in your car?
Oh, yeah, CD books. Oh, yeah, I learned how to fucking scratch
Oh, I
CDs.
still got CD
motherfucker.
books. You see
Yeah,
my-
yeah, yeah.
You can just scratch in
Like,
CDs.
I got everything from
Yeah,
Easy to Vanilla
for
Ice.
real,
You know?
for
And it's like I
real.
got not the common Vanilla Ice albums.
Yeah.
You know, I got the Hard to Swallow, the mind blowing album.
Like the Teenage
But I don't
Mutant
have To
Ninja
the
one?
Extreme.
But dude, so
No,
much
I,
shit...
don't, I got TMT2 soundtrack on cassette.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's a throwback.
That's fucking hardcore.
Jeez. This guy knows his shit, man.
That's crazy.
Musical encyclopedia. So you get exposed to hip hop at this super young age.
Yeah, even like just TMT alone, the soundtrack for the first one with MC Hammer,
wild.
Yeah.
Kid
So
K,
much fun.
You know, TURTLE Power.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they made it fun. Yeah. It was the pre-Will Smith kind of pop hip hop type
Well,
stuff, right?
But
But
it was crossing over, right?
Yeah.
Into they found a beat and people like to dance.
they had the Running Man going on and stuff. The Ninja Turtles doing the Running Man and shit.
Because
Yeah.
before that, you only danced to rock and disco. It was rock and disco,
Yeah,
right?
hip-hop changed that
so
shit.
hip hop came and kind of changed it because they were trying to. Rock was like, fuck disco, we're gonna kill it. Stomp, 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 stomp. And they killed it.
Yeah.
They only lasted like 2-3 years.
That's it.
Right? And then rock, no, stomp, stomp. Men started dressing up like girls and singing rock. And everyone's like, yeah, that's what we want. Even the black chicks. My mom was in that era. She was stomped out by disco.
How weird is that?
And was like, oh, Bon Jovi. Right? Started listening to Bon Jovi. Right? And then Michael came in and said, fuck that, stomp, stomp, stomp.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's funny how the powers have played. So you grew up in an era where it was like chaotic musically. And I think that's probably was
Big
the best
transformation.
Well,
thing that could have happened.
Well, that was the thing about like the Dance Mix 91 one mix, right? From Much
So much
Music
goofy
was
shit on there.
you had PM Dawn, Set Adrift from Memory Bliss. And the second song was Ralph Tresvant, Sensitivity. Then OPP, Naughty by Nature. And the next couple songs like KMF, Unbelievable. And then you're like, Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy. And then the last two tracks of the cassette is like Too Unlimited. Is like, you got a really
unreal.
Those were the best mixtapes back in the day, man. Those are the best. The dance mix,
Fuck,
the Much Music mix.
I was so impressionable as a kid. All my older cousins were like, "That's bullshit. Don't listen to that garbage, pop garbage." They would be making their own mixtapes to like hardcore gangster shit. We couldn't listen to those things.
Well, I also had
this kid made fun of
rap tracks tapes too.
Rap tracks.
Crazy.
Rap tracks with XX
if,
tracks.
If you were a 2000s kid, you don't know. You just don't know the hustle to get music. So when did you write your first bar then?
Around 9, like around 8, 9.
And do you remember what the motivation was to write a bar? Who you were listening to? I was like, I could probably do that.
They called me D Nice because I looped that
beat
from my first. So like at that point, I've already accumulated I got the Casio keyboard, a Radio Shack drum machine,
that's dope.
And a 4-track recorder.
So you had everything ready to go.
Yeah, I had a little basement studio already before basement studios were a thing.
MacGyver studio.
Yeah. And my neighbor was, she went on to like go to Berkeley, Sound of Music, piano player. So she taught me piano, right? And I looped the drum beat and the bass line from They Call Me D Nice for my first beat, and then played like a dun 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 piano key on top of that. And then, just from there, just elevated.
It's crazy.
But one of the things I remember a lot is when you get really into songs, you start to remember the cadence, the patterns, the flows, and you really memorize them, and you spit them back just as hard as the MCs that are actually spitting them. And that's kind of how I feel like I developed my style, is like, just listen to like the best of the best and trying to match their cadence, match their flows. And once I was able to spit a double time that Twista did, he used to do that. You remember Pope Himp?
No, I never really got into Twista.
Speed Nut Mobsters, and so they basically every song was a race, right? Yeah. A race to the finish. And I remember once I could fully memorize and spit a Twista verse back, I'm like, fuck, I can do this shit.
See,
I can do this.
He's going on about that. I'm like, Ice-T, some of y'all bitches too, or New Jack Hustler.
Yeah. Well, because when you are rapping along and you can hit every bar like that, you kind of feel like you can do it yourself, right? Yeah. I think that's what kind of mimicry. A lot of the initial artwork from artists is just mimicking other people that they love until they figure out a way to kind of build their own style.
It was once said by a man who couldn't quit. Dope man, please, can I have another hit? The dope man said, Cluck, I don't give a shit if your girl kneels down
and sucks my dick. Shave my balls.
Those are thank you, Dossier. Those were the first lyrics I'm like, that did not just be they did not, what? Did they just say that? Because that's when you didn't hear that shit. Right? I didn't even get into Two Live Crew at all back in the
face down, ass up. That's the way we like to fuck.
Yeah. Dude, they had a song called Fuck Martinez.
Yeah, fuck Martinez.
Fuck Martinez. Yeah.
And I couldn't believe you could say that shit on music. Yeah. It blew my fucking mind. Yeah, it really made me fearless when I write, though, because of that psychotic shit they did.
It was kind of funny. My boy back in elementary school, old boy, he had lent me his 2 Live tape.
Shit. It's dangerous.
And my boy Tony lent me his DJ Jazzy Jeff from the Fresh Prince.
Wow.
He's the DJ on the rapper tape. And I'm like dubbing both of them. And I'm like,
oh, yeah.
2 Live Crew is like more explicit than Ice-T. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, holy shit.
Oh, yeah, it was different times.
Dude, Uncle Luke paid.
Changed the game.
He paid for everybody, man. Yeah. The shit that he had to go through to get his music out, man. People don't get it.
Well, that was the thing. The cassette that I had was Luke from the 2 Live Crew banned in the USA.
Yeah, she was banned everywhere.
USA, yeah, that was dope.
You couldn't get that shit. They banned it everywhere. It's fucking wild. Can you imagine banning music?
Yeah.
Think about some of the shit that these whack-ass rappers say today.
They paved the way.
They can't get banned.
Yeah.
There's so many bars about, like, rape. And they don't get banned.
Yeah.
But fucking 2 Live Crew talking about blatant for the most part, consensual.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no drugs involved.
You know what I miss, and I hope pandemic eases this and like it's brought back is the Uncle Luke Fest.
Shit.
Oh yeah.
Fucking STD party right there, man.
Yeah, Gloria Velez going on everybody.
Oh god.
Damn, that's
Very
kind of like
crazy
those.
days.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of like the Source magazine when Source magazine XXL would like pop in.
Yeah.
That era of Freakniks every year and shit.
Oh,
that
yeah.
never happened again.
Dude,
Will
those
never happen
days,
again.
these kids will never see that.
You guys,
ever.
you guys think you got
They
spring
missed
break?
it.
Nothing was compared to the
They've
Freaknik.
missed
Well, the great thing is there was no cameras.
Yeah.
There's no fucking video cameras, no
Yeah.
cameras.
There's no blackmailing and shit.
Yeah, people could just be themselves.
Yeah.
And if you fucked up, and you obviously fucked up,
Yeah.
it was just a fuck up. And you
Yeah.
move on with your life. But
Yeah.
now a fuck up is a fucking
Now it's cancel
now
culture.
it's detrimental
dude.
to your living.
That's it. It's over.
Yeah.
You're done. And it's like the scarlet letter now of the old days, right? It's the internet shame.
Do you guys know Freddie Gibbs?
Yeah.
Did you guys? There's a video going around of this Holiday Inn employee, and he's standing behind a desk, and his system keeps fucking up, and the customer is recording him and kind of like ribbing him a little bit, but not like too much, and you can see he's getting frustrated, and he starts fucking banging on his computer, and then he starts fucking banging on himself, like he hits himself in the head like 10 times.
Well, that's not good customer service.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? So my first thought is this is a white guy in the U.S. And, when white people in the U.S. rage, they fucking shoot, right? That's their default behavior. So I saw this video and my first comment was, fuck, watch out. Do not let this fucking guy buy a gun because somebody will die.
Yeah.
So Freddie Gibbs posted the same thing, same video. And he's essentially said the same thing. And now they're trying to cancel Freddie Gibbs for this fucking post.
Trying to cancel him?
Yeah. But, he's one of those guys you can't really cancel because he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You can't care, right?
Yeah.
No, but that's another thing too. Like, okay, so maybe it's I went to school for social work, right? So I'm always going to take a pause and step back, and because we work for. Do you still work for the same company?
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
So you know how the company we work for is big on customer service
100%.
and everything. So my thing, I had a similar situation with a customer where I'm just like, "Are you okay?" Because
Yeah.
something wasn't right. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's only certain. You can only go so far to help somebody, right?
Yeah, 100%.
And the first thing I gotta ask when I see stuff like that is like, whoa, okay, take a step back. The most important question you can ask anybody is, are you okay? Right? So that's what I would do to that person, having the,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't pull out my phone and record.
Yeah,
that.
that's a little
crazy.
shitty. That's kind of a shitty thing
That's,
to do.
if
Yeah.
you're so quick to pull out your phone to record somebody in agony, why don't you be a better person or a better human and be like,
Contribute to the fix.
Contribute to a fix instead of like making, because how many times 50 Cent, remember the situation where 50 Cent made fun of a baggage handler who
50 Cent's a
who has a disability and like,
Dude, 50 Cent's a fucking bully, man.
He's a
Yeah.
big troll.
It's the kind of guy he is.
Yeah.
It's the kind of guy he is. Nothing he does surprises me.
like I just never liked bullies, you know what I mean?
Fuck, for real.
Dude, is that why like hip hop, his music and rap music is so bad now? Is it because the person is bad? Like the level of human is off? It's off, man. It's off from our generation. We know it's off from our generation.
Because we come from the generation of we shoot straight from the hip and we don't talk no bullshit,
Yeah.
right? We were straight up like 6 o'clock. Now these new cats are just like twisted and bent and fucking, you can't tell what time they at.
You know what a part of it is? And I think this is the most frustrating part for me is that there's no fucking call-outs. There's no call-outs. Do you remember when Pac was alive and everybody he hated, he fucking called out?
Yeah.
He didn't give a fuck. So like there's dudes, there's obviously bar spitters like Kendrick and Cole. They know what the fuckery is.
There's the call outs, but it's all just type something. It's like, like
Twitter wars and shit.
And the thing is, like, when
Instagram.
these dudes go on podcasts and stuff, and like they get asked questions about certain artists, and they're like, whatever. They do their own thing. They stay in their own lane. I hate those answers.
Yeah.
I fucking hate those answers. Just say it's garbage. Just say it's whack. It's trash, right? You have to say that kind of shit.
Well, everyone's so respectful of each other now in the industry.
Oh, it's the fucking ribbon generation.
Participation.
I don't even know. I don't even know if it's respect, man. I just think it's this weird fucking. I don't want to alienate any fans.
Yeah.
Any potential fans I want, right? Even if I can get this fucking shit.
I'm going to bring up a good point my homeboy DJ Unknown brought up. DJ Unknown's from the group Troopers back in Toronto. He brought up a good point one time. What was it? I'm just going to try to paraphrase his quote, but it was, if people don't support my music, that's not their problem. That's my problem. All right? And that's where probably a lot of people feel like if I alienate these people, then my fans suffer, you know? No. You know what? If they want to alienate you as an artist, that's on them. That's not on you, because you stood up as you as an artist. If they believe in you as that artist, they should. But that goes all back to what I'll say about, support.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Canadians don't know how to support. Whereas, down in the States or elsewhere in the world, they support when they believe in you.
Well,
Do you?
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna. No, go ahead. You ask him. I'll ask him after.
Do you think the radio stations play a part in this problem?
Yes, and I will tell you that I've stopped being a financial benefactor to a radio station that barely plays my songs.
Mm-hmm.
I supported this radio station for the last 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
Financially, you mean?
Financially.
Mm-hmm.
All right? And, yeah.
They can kiss my ass too.
Yep.
Right.
So,
The artists are the bread and butter, man.
I stopped being a supporter. They don't play my songs.
That's horrible.
I've been on the radio station twice with them. And, I love the people, but you know what? If you're not supporting the artist or asking or being involved, I've been a supporter for 5 years, never got asked to perform at the annual events or anything. You know what? Cool. That's cool. I see how it is. You
Right.
know, I'm not gonna. I'm just don't have to support you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Do they do that for? Is this just? It isn't a money thing. There's something deeper rooted than just money, obviously.
I don't know. I always have love for everybody, so I don't know.
It's the mainstream radio stations too, man. The FM stations, they don't support. There's literally
Local, they don't support local.
there's no how back in the day they would give you a local hour on the station on a Sunday, and they would only play local music. There's none of that. No contribution from local radio to empower local artists. And here's the thing, okay? Not everyone's on social media that listens to music. A lot of people still use terrestrial radio, right? So if we're using the regular radio, and we have a local radio station that could potentially be playing a handful of local hip-hop songs, that turns their Spotify playlist inside out, because you make more money on radio than you do on fucking Spotify.
Yeah.
Right?
And as for the second part about, the radio stations of support, why Canadians have a hard time supporting artists is, for one thing, they don't support you until you become popular.
Jumping on the trends. And second, the terms of success is different as opposed down as. See, I'm getting that second win high right now. As opposed to down the States. I've had friends, say I'll finally blow up this year. It's I got 6 gold records. I have big.
Couple.
I have respect.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
You know how many times I've gone gold off the song "Ride Out"? It went gold in Russia.
Shit.
That's crazy.
Shit.
Actually, I'll tell you right now. I submitted for 2 award shows in Canada. The Canadian Indies and Breakout West. I haven't heard yet about Breakout West nominees, but I submitted for 3 categories with the Canadian Indie Music Awards.
But dude, I see you winning awards too.
Did I get anything, even a nomination? No. But I can tell you, all those artists that are on that list, they did not sell as many units, physical units, or they may have more streams than me,
which is meaningless.
but they don't have physical
Dude, the
sales.
physical makes way more money, man.
So the thing about Canadians not supporting is, well, I wrote this down, so let me read this out. Canadians don't know how to support because they say they do, but they don't. Go to England. You go to England, perform over there, you're treated like royalty. All right? They support artists like they support their soccer team. Why, as Canadians, we do not support our artists like we support our sports teams?
Yeah.
If I ask most of my friends to recite some of my lyrics, they can't. They'll just tell me, oh, they like the beat.
Yeah.
Okay, how many friends do you like post to your music and say, hey, listen to the...
For real, man. You know that. You know
Right?
that. Shit.
So they think by being successful is having a house in the Hollywood Hills and, not so much as paying off your mom's mortgage.
Right,
You
right.
know what I mean? Problem is, one night we could be at the Junos, and the next day we'd be back at our 9 to 5. Our co-workers will look at us and be like, oh, yeah, we'll come out to the show. Come out. Because at the last show we performed at, right? I'm doing the soundboard, making everybody sound nice, and then what happened when my time to go on stage?
Right, there's no one
Everybody
there.
just
There's
dispersed,
no one there.
and I had one co-worker there.
Yeah.
All right, so when it comes down to support, really, Canadians just don't know how to.
Yeah.
I've gone on tour through the U.S. I've been a nobody in the U.S. and I've had a sold out show. I've had a sold out Hollywood show.
Yeah.
But here, you see
Oh, dude, it's a
firsthand.
fucking battle, yo.
It's a battle.
It's rough. And I mean, so I know there's a live music crowd. There's obviously a live music crowd because I've been to shows that are packed, and there's certain artists that are able to draw a big crowd. Like every show that I've been to or done that has had Mad Child on it has been packed.
Dude, we are not cultural people, though.
Yeah.
Like, we aren't cultured. Like, you take the brown, and this is no offense to anybody, right? But you take the brown cultures and the foreigner cultures out of Canada, and we have no personality.
None.
Think about
Boiled
it.
chicken.
That's why it's so amazing when we have a Canadian artist who does well. Everyone's so fucking amazed by it. You know, it's always from Canada. He's Canada's best. It's like, why
But
are
dude,
we saying that?
part of it is the infrastructure, man. There's no infrastructure that an artist can follow to be successful. Like we've had a handful of groups out of Vancouver, like the Rascals did right,
Yeah.
Swollen Members did right. Like
Yeah.
there's a few. I mean, Junk is killing it. You know, there's Merc. You know, there's guys that are doing it, but there's no infrastructure for artists to be able to get their music played on the radio, and then from the radio get a radio interview, and then from the radio interview get like a actual sponsored show, and sponsored show actually make money off of it rather than have to come out of pocket. Because that's what promoters and promotions are supposed to do for artists.
And that's another thing. You should never see. I've done the 2 pay to play shows out here, right? The
Fucking
Beat
hate that
Nuts
shit.
and a Mad Child show,
Yeah, I hate
right?
that shit.
No, I get it. All right, promoters are just not doing their job.
But
See,
before you go there, because people aren't going to know what you're talking about.
we've had this long talk before too.
Tell them what the pay to play is so they understand what you're
Pay to
saying.
play is pretty much the promoter giving you the tickets to sell. All right,
Giving
but
the
here's
artist, the promoter
promoter giving the artist
tickets to the artist to sell.
Yeah. Now here's the thing: everybody has their spot in life, their position, right? You know, there's a reason Ticketmaster exists. There's a reason why Eventbrite exists, so forth, right? There's a reason why a promoter got into the business of doing show promotions. There's you as an artist should not be selling tickets. Your job is to entertain.
And if you don't sell tickets, you shouldn't have to be coming out of pocket to the promoter
Yeah.
to have to play.
No.
I think that model is broken.
Oh, 100%.
The promoter should be getting people out to the show.
Now, you as a DJ, did you, in your come up, did you ever have to, I need to sell tickets for people to come to my show?
No, I did that once. They said, "Oh, how many people can you bring out?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I just killed it on my social media at the time, MySpace or whatever, like the back in the day,
MySpace is
right?
dope.
And then it didn't really work out. And I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Like I felt violated.
It's not the DJ's job.
I didn't make any money, right? And I realized one, I didn't have friends that liked anything I was doing, and I didn't blame them. It was 2010 or something, right?
Here's the thing I've been telling cats is, If the promoter can hire that act to do the show, they can hire you to do the show.
Yeah.
Not so much you sell the tickets, but they hire you.
It's horrible.
You are hired talent.
Yeah.
And so stay in that lane. You
For
are
real.
not the club promoter. You're
Yeah.
not the manager of the bar.
Yeah.
You're not this. So don't even play that role. Like, here's the thing. I always do this from a business mindset.
Mm-hmm.
And, you could just pick up this sense from watching John, whatever his name, that bar rescue guy.
Right, Taffer.
Okay? John Taffer. Smart dude.
Guilty pleasure.
Read his book, actually. It's actually fucking insightful. So I've always done this. I go into a venue before a show and see how that venue operates on prime nights.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if your bar is empty on prime nights or your venue's empty on prime nights,
Wow.
you are doing business wrong. You should
I've
not have
never
it empty.
understood
Then the
you
show
should-
is going to be empty too.
Yeah.
So,
It
okay,
doesn't-
here's the thing, okay? Like, when we were doing shows back in the day with Daiga and Queasy, we would have the club promoters put on the night. So the club promoters come out of pocket because that's their fucking job to put on a night at a club.
They make the
and
most money.
Like it's their club night featuring this act that's gonna perform, and all we had to do was come with a fucking dope show, and we all got paid regardless of whether or not the place was packed or not. For the most part, it was packed because the promoters were dope at
And
making
they
sure
did their-
people came out and did their job.
And that's the thing about
Shout out
promoters.
Tyrone Miller, yeah.
Promoters should know how to do their
But
job.
that's their fucking job. What does promote mean? What the fuck does promote mean?
Yes.
This is a word.
Now it's all about just post a link on Facebook.
Yeah,
you know
man.
what?
Like
No.
you can't do that for a show. You have to physically meet people and sell tickets.
I literally posted up posters.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Oh, that's a lot.
and the thing
Artists
is
should
like
never be doing that.
people gotta understand when you have a 9 to 5 and you have responsibilities and you want to chase your dream. The idea of going to sell tickets is a fucking insult to being an artist.
See, I think a lot of the problem is everybody after. See, you couldn't even do this really show promotions on MySpace all that much, but we'll get back to MySpace in a bit because I still use my MySpace.
That's
Are you serious?
hilarious.
I still do, man.
I didn't even. Yeah.
I don't have one out there.
Okay, a lot of people
it's horrible.
forget that there's some countries that don't have Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
And they have MySpace.
MySpace.
This is where I'm going to drop some gems because I stayed ahead of
Oh,
the game
shit.
five points like a chess move. All right. So at my peak on MySpace, I had like 48,000 fans.
Shit.
Wow.
Popping.
All right.
That's crazy.
Like I did pretty well on
But
MySpace.
that's engagement.
Yeah.
Back 48,000 on
That's a
MySpace. That's
lot.
fucking a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
I still keep in touch with like people. Like there's still people in like rock bands that are still like
Yeah.
conversing. I'm
Using
like,
it
holy
well. Yeah, it makes sense.
Right?
It makes
Yeah.
sense.
because
a niche
MySpace,
market.
or Facebook when it came out, we were all like talking like, "Yo, should we jump on Facebook?"
Yeah,
And it's like,
yeah.
"Oh no, it's only offered for like college and universities right
At the
now."
time.
2009.
2007, we were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's right. Yeah, it was only university 2007.
Because
That's right.
I was talking to my dude Ivan Ives. He's a Russian rapper who lives in LA. He's done tracks with like Capadonna, 2Max.
Shit,
You know,
Wu-Tang.
he's got a. If you ever get the chance, look up his stuff. It's pretty dope. We were talking about it back then because he got featured in Rolling Stone magazine.
Shit.
All right, but it cost him $10,000 to be in Rolling Stone magazine.
Yeah.
It's like,
Crazy.
dude. that-
They don't want you that bad.
No shit.
Well, that's the
Big myth.
whole like, you know, back then promotion, right? You know, get a write up in Rolling Stone, right?
Yep.
So, problem with MySpace, you didn't really have avenue to like change, do show show
no.
promotion.
You can do shit.
So, yeah, that was one of my side hustles when I learned about HTML program. I literally did pimp my MySpace.
Dude, we tried so hard, man. Me and the homie Dagger, we tried so hard. Our shit was all fucked up.
It was
Colors
hard.
weren't right.
Oh,
It was hard.
It just were all fucked up.
I even did
Then you try to go
Mellowman
black
8.
and white, and it
Yeah,
looks like
and
shit.
it didn't work, man.
I even did Mellowman Ace's MySpace page. It's
Oh,
still the same.
shit.
Like I said,
Oh,
yeah.
I'm gonna revisit my MySpace and see what the
I
fuck's.
don't know the password.
Well, I still have the same email.
It
That's
would probably
the
be
thing.
Mike123 to be real honest with you. That's probably what it is. It's so bad. But
So you write your first rap, you make your first album. You're a child,
I was 10 years old. Yeah,
and
I recorded the cassette over the summer of 1994. So when school started and I was on the basketball team, I would sell at other schools too. So I pressed up 100 cassettes, sold for $2 a piece, right? So
nice little takes, nice little double your money.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope. So you write all hip hop?
Yeah, and this is where we're going to talk about publishing, all right? So, let me get back to talking points here. Music publishing. There are 6 types of music publishing that every artist and producer should get to know.
Yeah.
You know how I got the platinum plaque for T.I.'s album?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a thing called composition publishing. I did the original demo piano work for my boy Keith Black, who produced the song My Type. We didn't know the song in 2004 was going to be placed on T.I.'s album in 2007, right? But because I own the print work, composition,
right,
for that melody, guess who gets paid?
You get a plaque.
Guess who gets a plaque? Grammy-nominated album.
Oh, that's wicked.
And guess who gets royalties every fucking year from that album?
That's some credits.
That's pretty amazing.
That's some credits.
But I don't get credit. No. I just own this.
Yeah, that's the fucking credit right there.
Right? So I get a plaque.
Yeah.
Cool. I got it hanging at home. Nice.
Yeah, hell
nice
yeah.
Talk piece when people come over and see in the hallway. Oh,
we'll bring the high praise camera crew through your house one day.
It's
We'll
dope.
check it out.
All right. But the thing is, so royalties in the beginning were very large. Now, like this past year, I got like $462 just from that one song.
Wow,
royalty.
Fucking dope.
That's cool. You're gonna need.
And because I'm Canadian, it's tax-free royalty.
Oh, crazy! God, that's
It's all bonus money.
Yeah,
bonus spending money.
That's so
I just put it back into stocks and investments.
Right.
And that's what I'm going to teach other cats. Because I'm going to tell you a story about when I was 18 down in LA with my death row contract. But do you want to talk about publishing?
That same death row.
Yes, kids, it's the death row that's sick.
Yeah,
No, just go in, man. We'll get back.
So there's 6 different styles of publishing. Every artist and producer should get to know them. You have your sync licensing, which is pretty much method of audio within video visual. YouTube, for example,
right.
Twitch, video. And then there's master license. It's in conjunction with the sync license. So people know my one song, the Kayak song, visually, right? It's my most popular music video, up to 14,000 music views. Cool. Not really that interesting of a song. It was a filler track. But it's my most successful song in sync licensing. A lot of people on TikTok, I was surprised when I saw the TikTok videos with the Kayak song featured. But also, if you go through the comments, how many people asked me to use that song in their YouTube videos and so forth, right? So yeah, there's 100,000 videos of kayaks and all that, and TikTok videos combined. We're looking at over 7 million views alone.
Shoot. It's big.
Right? Combined with my 13,000 going on 14,000 views. So that many views, that many people have played my song. So guess who gets paid? Me.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
right?
insane. YouTube takes care of that? They just kick it.
Yeah, because I have good publishing. I have BMI, I have SOCAN, I have my TuneCore publishing, and I have my Song Trust publishing. I have 4 type publishing things. Where my song, The Final Goodbye, this surprised me because I wanted to talk about, this kind of stuff. I had to do research on my own stuff. So my song, Final Goodbye, from my album Musica Poetica, is popular with gamers and Twitch. The total views gathered on the Kayak song, over around 7 million, and Twitch video is within 5 million.
Shit.
Holy shit, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Eh?
Both of these songs weren't meant to be hits.
Wow. What was the appeal, do you think, with it? Is it they were just kind of quirky songs?
Well, the Kayak song was a quirky song. It wasn't even supposed to end up on the album because of how the album was pre-recorded before tragic in my life, tragic loss, and then the rest of it was recorded after, just as like just to put something out, right? Let people know I'm still around.
Right.
So the thing is, with the kayak song, who shoots a music video in a fucking kayak? This guy.
Canadian artist.
Because it's my favorite pastime.
Oh, shit.
So I just pretty much rented kayaks out from the day on the Welland Canal in Ontario and had people come by and just be in the fucking video. Nothing really amazing.
Yeah.
Nothing really. There's like not even a wave that day. And
Just interesting.
Just interesting.
Yeah.
But because people type in, and this is the thing about hashtags, right? You see kayaking, kayak song. People fell in love with the
Automatically
song.
gets to you, yeah.
Right? It wasn't meant to be hit, but it's a thing called a runaway hit. Now let's talk about mechanical license. Mechanical licensing is physical copies, sales, cassette, digital sales. This is where most artists, producers, labels, and everybody else involved on a project focus. Streams. I'll circle back to Spotify about that.
Point zero 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 zero
So
zero.
if we were to play, if I were to
1
say
cent.
play on Spotify right now, would you get paid for it?
Yes.
0.00001
But
cent.
This
It's
is where
nothing. It's meaningless.
this is where artists are going to be mad at me because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. So I know we're going to jump around the place
It's all
here.
good.
Well, then that's what we should do. We should just play artist music all throughout the thing, so at least they're getting paid being on the podcast.
They'd cut it out.
Oh.
Cut it out.
They'll-
YouTube would cut it out.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Well, you would get an artist claim from my publishing saying, "Oh,
I've gotten a few of those.
Yeah. I wanted to talk about Spotify, but the thing is, then you got your public performance license, and this is where I tell
Right.
you, download the form from SoCan when you're performing. You get paid for your performing those songs. Either which way, if you don't get paid as an artist for being hired talent that night, you can still get paid from the show as long as the show is sold for $10 a ticket. Because SoCan does have its limitations.
Right.
Even if you're performing on your Facebook Live right now, they've even opened up a thing for people performing from home. You can get paid from performing your songs from home.
That's interesting.
So how would artists go about knowing if they wanted to
It's an
up
easy
their
form
game?
to download.
It's pretty easy. So
You pretty much-
easy. I had to get it.
So pretty much the public performance license you download from SoCan, which is a performance rights society, to be paid for a show in Canada. A concert promoter signs off the paperwork and agreement of songs to be performed. So if you have a set list of these 7 songs, get them to sign off on it.
That's interesting. So you can get paid every time you go out on stage,
Yeah.
basically.
do some
But who
live
pays
music.
you? Like just the
Well,
just
That's what
something
it's
pays
kind
you?
of like a union, right?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a performing rights society, so it's already pretty
Funded,
much
financed.
financed with the National Bank of Canada and the federal government, but also they get in contact with the promoter. And how this process goes is, did this artist perform this song? How many tickets were sold this night? They break it down, and they're like, okay, we'll calculate that you get paid, $7 for this song, $5 for this song, and so forth.
Yeah.
Wow, crazy, man.
It's crucial, man, because most artists now
It's
are
unbelievable.
only going to be successful independent, right? The kind of label model for artists is really dying.
Yeah, and I already talked about print rights license, so the composition, right? Sorry, man, we need some air in here. But the last one, a lot of cats don't talk about, and this is one you should, like, if you're going to have a conversation with Questlove, this is what you talk to Questlove about because of the Hamilton, all right? Theatrical license. Common in the theater industry. Pretty much copyrighted work is performed on stage in front of an audience. Think Sweeney Todd,
Right.
Cats, Wicked, Phantom of the Opera. Another great example, study Andrew Lloyd Webber. Net worth $820 million fucking dollars, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
some Broadway
shit.
shows.
Yeah.
Dude, Phantom is amazing.
It's paid every time it goes on stage, right?
Yeah, or even talked about.
Yeah.
If so, like Gerard Butler when he was Phantom of the Opera, or when he took on that role, you know, like every time Gerard Butler is performing that damn annoying song,
It's a pretty dope melody.
Andrew Lloyd Webber is boink,
Cha-ching.
boink, ching, ching.
820 million. Wow.
Now this is where I was talking about talk to Questlove. Long time been trying to get a song of mine in theatrical works anyway, because you get paid out on previous of 5 licenses, right? Especially if the mechanical gets reproduced like Hamilton's soundtrack.
Right.
So if that song
massive.
gets now
be
it's gone
huge.
from stage to compact discs, CD, digital stores, all that. So now you're making more.
Yeah.
Is that
Big chunks.
the Lynn guy? Is that who gets it for that Hamilton? That the play Hamilton,
Yeah.
right? So that's what you're just talking about, right?
Yeah.
Hamilton. So
I don't know- I
it
don't know
would be
anything about
that
it.
Lynn Hamilton, the guy who wrote it, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
He owns more of it.
Oh yeah, he gets big bank,
Wow.
good residual income.
All right. And I wanted to talk about Spotify for a second.
Suffocating the
Sorry,
artists.
Not COVID, just choking on dry air in here.
Chronic.
So, see, good thing I wrote a lot of stuff down because this is going to be a wide awakening fundamental.
And I just want to tell you that we've been sitting here for an hour, and you know what? I don't feel anything. Not since I used ShaveMyBalls.com. I'm telling you right now,
So fresh and so clean.
I've never
clean.
felt fresher in my life.
That would actually be a really good soundtrack to a Shave My Balls commercial. So fresh and so clean.
So fresh.
And we can do a little dance. Dun, dun, dun.
Talk about license.
So I'm going to take you guys back a little trip, and this is going to lead into Spotify. So back in 2003, I'm 18 years old. I'm on the road underground. I already signed it when I was 17, but now after I finished college, I'm down in LA. Hold on, I'm going to have to get some
Do you
gum.
need some water or something? Or
No, it's just like need some fresh air.
What did we smoke of yours? What was that, Mike?
that was called Old Man Organic Blend.
Old Man Organic.
Old
Omo.
Man Organic.
Omo. We'll call it Omo.
Okay, there we go. Mouth is a little moist now. All right, so when I was 18, I'm down at a spot that Suge frequented at called Red Square, right? And I'm there with a couple other artists from the row, like Icebone, Crooked Eye.
Crooked Eye is fucking dope.
Who else? This one guy that was like Tupac lookalike.
Right. I think I remember that.
The Realist or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of suited up. You know what I mean? I got the pinstripe
Death
on.
Row, man. Shit.
And I'm looking fresh to death, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm down in Hollywood. I've got some money in my pocket. I'm gonna ball out a little bit, right? I don't know shit. So I go in the washroom, and there's this dude doing a rip
Yeah.
right off the counter, right? I've never seen somebody do blow before,
Oh, no shit.
right?
How old are you at the time?
I was 18.
18.
I'm so like
What year
I'm
were you born, by the way?
84.
84. Gotcha.
So I've never seen this shit before, right? And the guy's like, "You want to hit?" I'm like, "Nah, dog.
Nope.
I'm good because if you know me, I don't do drugs and I don't drink,
you're
right?"
always away from that shit.
So, but I asked him, I'm like, "Yo, how much is that?" He's like, "Oh, 8-ball around here. I got off my guy for like four bills." I'm like, $400, man? Fuck, just to get you high? Fuck, man.
That's a lot of
right?
fucking money.
So I made myself a deal that night. I'm like, you will never become like this,
Never.
right? Every month, invest $400. That was 18. That was 18. 18 years ago.
Yeah.
That's good.
Every month for 18 years, I've invested $400.
That's huge, man.
So ETFs, TFSAs, stocks, right? And you saw me post about this a couple weeks ago
Yeah.
about Spotify. Why are artists so worried about earning that 6 cents when you can own a part of Spotify?
Yeah.
Right? Everything we do, because we talk about portfolios and stuff like that, right? So When Spotify went public back in 2018, this motherfucker got in on it.
Nice.
All right. Spotify opened up at $129, $128, $132 that they closed at $132 that day. I know it wasn't a great sale, but guess what they're worth now? How much that stock is worth now? It's over $260 a share.
Holy shit.
Double.
All right.
Wow.
And it keeps going up.
Yeah.
It also is a stock that pays dividends. All right.
Crazy.
But now this is where it gets interesting. So I'm going to break down some numbers because who also is in bed with Spotify? Warner Music, Sony, and Universal. They all own a portion of Spotify.
Oh, wow.
Guess who also has public stock? Warner Music. Guess who has public stock? This guy. So Spotify takes up 36% of streaming music market shares.
Damn.
All right.
It's fucking huge.
Apple is 18%, Amazon is 13%, and so forth.
36 is huge.
Yeah.
Big
So-
chunk of the market.
China owns Tencent Holdings in China owns 9.1% of Spotify, 10% of Universal, 2% of Warner Music Group.
You can see the influence in material, in
Yeah.
artistic material.
Right.
Though.
You see where this is going to go, right?
Influence, yeah.
So Tencent owns QQ Music as well as Kuno and Rugan. Spotify is not in major Asian markets, China, Japan, etc. So if you want to be an artist successful, you do not market. This is where we're going to jump to know your market of where you're advertising
That's
your
big.
music.
It's big.
Because I do not promote in Japan or anything, any Spotify or Apple Music. I tell people get my shit on QQ Music. There's a Japanese website that, you know, if you put all your links in, it'll translate all your links in Japanese.
Oh, that's dope.
So Spotify.
Spitting game, man.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So Spotify went public in shares in 2018. Yeah. So when I wrote this down, $269.50 a share.
Jesus.
52% of Spotify revenue goes to record companies or yourself as an indie artist. But first, who gets paid first? Number one, investors like myself, which is generated by top tier artists. So I make money off Drake. Before Drake gets paid, I get paid.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
fucked is that? Top tier artists that make up 90% of streams will over dominate you in payout. So your music on Spotify, your 2,000 streams don't mean shit.
Oh, yeah, I know that. Shit.
All
It's
right.
meaningless.
Crazy.
You know, everybody who like when Mercury's and Evil Ebenezer are talking about, their 100,000 streams. That ain't shit.
No, it's not, man. It's not money.
That ain't shit, man.
No.
You made $3,000.
It's
Whoopie
just
doo
literally.
dah.
It's literally.
Crazy.
It's just promotion. Spotify is literally just
With
promotions.
It's just a numbers game.
Yeah.
And people just want to look at numbers,
Yeah,
but they
it's for-
don't want to
and-
look
And
at
it's for that number clout. How
Right.
do you feel about the Spotify model as far as how they pay artists? How do you feel about that? Forget the numbers as an investor, as an artist. How do you feel about it?
Oh, I don't fucking like it, man. Me as an artist, I've been downplaying Spotify for the fucking
Yeah,
longest
they
time.
suffocate artists.
They do,
Yeah.
and this is where it breaks down like this: take a stream which is 6 or 0.006% of a cent.
0.00.
That's sad.
Okay, break it down: 0.003 of a cent is back to you or your label. Then broke it down after that in royalty commission.
That's disgusting.
So we all know.
Fucking disgusting.
So we all know it's roughly 150 streams to every dollar.
Yeah.
100,000 streams is roughly $380. So that's why I'm looking at like fucking cats there. I got 25 million streams. You ain't got shit, man.
You make nothing off that.
Man, I make more money off you off
Dude,
my dividends than in a year than you fucking make off of fucking 100,000 streams. Shut the fuck up.
There's some ridiculous number like Pharrell. I think "Happy" is like the most streamed song in the history.
Yeah,
of
he only got
Spotify.
paid like 44,000
Yeah,
or
he
something.
got paid, dude. It's over 1 billion streams, and he
Wow.
got paid $44,000.
Wow.
Now check this out. Now check this out. This is where artists are going to be fucking mad at me. And it's like, yo, I told you, tune in, peep game. This is why I'm telling you guys.
We got that.
All right. So, but my stocks almost every day earns me about $6.68 US a share on Spotify. Over the past year, $139.88 a share.
It's big.
100 shares?
Way more than those fucking streaming numbers.
Yeah. 100 shares made me $13,988 over the past year.
Wow.
And I'm still investing. I'm still buying shares.
Yeah.
All right.
Crazy.
Now, when cats are like, yo, I've always been like, it's don't flex for the gram.
Yeah, come on.
Right.
Trash.
And like as I talked to you about buy a used car or whatever, right? Problem is a lot of this new generation is they're all flex color.
Yeah.
They get some money, they want to flash it on the ground. It's like, yo, I got a picture in my phone. If I whipped it out and showed you because I did this one year, I'm like, I'll post for the gram, right? Because everybody's like always down to play Sikadime. It's like, you motherfuckers, I'll show you what I made up.
Respect my
Right?
name.
But I'll show you a picture and you'll be like, fuck, yo.
Yeah, for real.
And but I never posted it because you know why? The ultimate flex is knowing you could buy something and not buying it.
Yeah, fucking rights, man. See, that's the thing. People like to live outside of their means, like beyond what they can afford.
Waste
and when you
culture.
do that, you put yourself in a trap, man.
It's a horrible habit.
Yeah, 100%.
So I want to go back to Tencent Holdings, the Chinese company that owns a portion of Spotify.
Right.
They've been around since 2004. That stock has a market cap at 78. Wait, that was not a decimal point. That was 789 billion.
Holy crap.
They own 9% of Spotify, multinational tech company, huge. They have 700 million active users and 120 million paying subscribers on QQ Music. So why am I going to promote Spotify to the Asian market when I'm going to promote this 120 million?
That's fucking volume. Wow. That's volume. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, why do artists even need the North American market?
Yeah.
You don't need it. The international market is so big.
Pretty much you're saying my last train of thought here. Why artists are concerned about their stream stats and pennies they are making. I get paid first before you even paid your first dollar.
Yeah. Facts.
Wow.
Facts.
That's just crazy. But this is what 30 years of growing up in an industry gets you. Is you become so self-aware of your situation, right?
Well, as my mom likes to call me, she's like, "You're the Canadian mini Warren Buffett." I'm not a financial advisor. I just take what I know, apply it, and see what the outcome is and all that.
Do you fuck with the market at all?
No, I tried. I couldn't get up that early.
Oh, right.
Dude, I'm up at 5 a.m. every morning waiting for 6:30 when the stock market opens.
Yeah, I know. I did that for a little while, and I was like, fuck. I don't like, it felt cultish to me, so I'm like, I got this thing with cults.
I did a big buy. Well, as you probably saw, I took a picture of, I went to Pizza one day on the weekend, and a new Freshie store opened. I own a lot of stock of Freshie, and I own a lot of stock in Pizza. Here's the thing. I invest in companies that have dividends that pay me back every year for being a shareholder, right? I walk into Pizza, I get a free lunch. I walk into Freshie, I get a free lunch.
Yeah.
Right, because you pay it, but you're getting it back.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, not even just that. You being a shareholder, right? Same with Starbucks. If you are a shareholder in Starbucks, you get free coffee for life, man.
Do you just go in and go, hey, I'm a shareholder? Like, I got a shareholder's card? Or?
Yeah, well, not so much like that, but
let me find my gold Starbucks card.
It's kind of like that. But yeah, it's
that's pretty good.
Yeah, if you want to be smart about the game, you get in on something that's going to pay you back 7% every year. Pizza example pays me back 5.52% every year.
Yeah, dude, it sounds like an easy thing, but people just don't they're just not equipped.
They don't want to learn it because they're so focused on earning these pennies.
Well, fuck, that's a part of it too, and a part of it is that there's really nothing in place. Like, for example, if you're a self-learner, like you are a self-learner.
I read a lot of books, man.
What-
I read. Lately, I've just been reading about Kathy Wood, this Lewis guy, and I've been reading the all these. I always read investor books.
Well, the thing is, people don't do this, right? And people don't proactively read as is. People don't read shit that they like to read, let alone shit that's going to be something that they learn from.
Because it all comes back to smoke and mirrors and pipe dreams.
Well, fuck.
right?
What's going to happen is when people go for loans, when people go for bank accounts, when people go for mortgages, all these different things, it should be like the bank's responsibility to be like, hey, you have this much money you're going to get a mortgage for. How about you get a smaller mortgage, take the rest of the money and invest it so you have something that grows. But there's no intent in advising people, right?
No, it's not even just that. Let's go back to a minimum wage worker. Yo, you're making this, and this. Your bills are paid, this and this, and you have this much left over. But before you even get to that, why don't you pay yourself first out of your income, your net income that you get, and pay yourself, $10, $15, $25. I don't care, right? Just pay yourself first. Then pay everything else that's meant to be paid. And then invest that $10, $15, $25 into something. Buy penny stocks.
You got to start. You got to start
somewhere.
Yeah.
That's how, when my first 400 I invested in an Apple. And then a penny stock that was 32 cents a stock, pharmaceutical company down in San Diego. Next thing you know, that shit blew up. Went up to $10 a share.
That's big.
Oh, wow.
It's huge,
Right?
man.
So, you imagine you just bought 1,000 stocks for 32 cents. You pretty much only pay like $320 or whatever, right?
Guys, with $10, it's a fucking game changer.
You just made over 1,000% on your individual, and so now you take that, cash out a little bit, reinvest it. I still own stock in that chemical company, right? Their stock is now at $111
That's amazing.
It's huge.
since 2003.
Yeah, I've been trying to put my kids on this game, putting my son on it,
Well,
gonna get him involved.
They have these easy sites now where
Simple and shit like
you're
that.
just a fucking moron can go on there and make money on it, right? Like literally, you can. And they got all these things. Where I learned was on YouTube, so I just watched all these fools on YouTube talk about it. But I just learned a style of reading. There's so many different ways to read a chart. You just got to find what way makes sense to you.
I always say, look at the past week, look at the past quarter. You can even go on sec.gov.org or something down in the States and look at all the for each company, all their tax returns and everything like that, and see what their dividends are going to be like and all that. And that's how I follow. I follow which company is going to pay this year or something, like Canadian companies too, like Air Canada and Kiera and Amera. Like this big one, I just sold a lot of stock in Auto Canada. It started low, I bought low and sold high, and now it's back trailing down. I'm just like, I got out when I got out.
Yeah, it's important. Yeah, the thing, and it's fucking. I have so many friends that are involved in the stocks, and I see so many of them that are like big investors and always stressed out because it's so fucking volatile. Yeah. And they're always talking to me about this, what to do, what to look at, what to look out for. And then some people start to introduce this Fibonacci math and stuff that you can apply. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? This is way too fucking far.
Yeah, some people go too far.
I'm a street dude, man.
Well, the thing is for me, like, I want to invest in companies, first of all, that I believe in, that match my moral belief as much as I can.
Okay.
So I invest in cannabis stocks. I invest in solar companies. I invest in things like that I believe in.
I got Grow Cop.
Yeah, Sundial's good like that. Yeah. So I have some. I try to keep my money in places that I can like feel comfortable with. I don't do any fossil fuels or any of that fucking any of that stuff because I think we're getting to a place where all of those kind of companies, all of those big fucking oil monster companies, these massive pharmaceutical companies, they're gonna fucking die hard because of just the way society's going, right? There's going to be no room for them to make money anymore once the majority of the cars are electric. Going to be fucked.
Well, the other thing is sin stocks, like tobacco and alcohol, right? That's always going to be a moneymaker. But, that's where your moral compass is. Like, do I want to encourage this? Or me, I quit smoking, but shit, I own Philip Morris. I'm not going to be mad at it, like.
Yeah, no, fuck. I mean, the money's there to be made. Like, I try to keep the money I put into stocks and stuff like that, money that I'm not gonna worry about, so that if it does fucking fall apart, then I'm not out. You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to overinvest and be too ambitious because
Yeah.
I hate losing money that I know I
Yeah.
could use in other ways.
That's why I didn't stay in it, because
Yeah.
I was like, I fake traded for a couple weeks, right? Got up, I fake traded, right? Got up, I had my thing, fake traded, right? And it was successful, and I was like, okay, yeah, I was doing well. But then I thought, do I really want to risk money gambling? Because that's what it really is. It's
what it
gambling.
is, 100%.
Well, the other thing I've been big about is like I watched Nas do it.
Mm-hmm.
Nas went from hip hop to venture capitalism, right? So did
Did
you
it
hear the
very
story
well.
about him and Coinbase?
Yeah, yeah.
He bought
Judging.
he bought $500,000 worth of Coinbase. That's when they became public 2 weeks ago. His net worth went up to $500 million.
Big.
It's crazy.
It's dope. I love it. I mean, Jay-Z's a big reason why a lot of rappers are investing. I think Jay-Z was
It's really
way ahead of the curve.
And it's really, let's face it, if you have a lot of money, it's really easy to make more money now.
big time.
You can literally, like, look at Kevin Durant
Yeah,
and Puff Daddy,
LeBron James.
and they won an Oscar last night,
Yeah, that's huge.
right? Puff Daddy, P. Diddy won an Oscar because he pushed some money across the table, wrote a check for somebody. Kevin Durant wrote a check, and gave it to this company, and they became producers, and they won an Oscar. They got Oscars sitting in their thing.
I'm still waiting for my shit from Lionsgate.
So, what's at Lionsgate?
Oh, I own stock in Lionsgate Entertainment. I'm just waiting to see what the new 50 Cent movie he's working on with Snoop Dogg is going to be through there.
Once all these restrictions lift and theaters are open again, theater stock's going to be good.
Oh, yeah, man. I never took away my Cineplex stock.
Yeah, it's going to be worthwhile. But so it seems like the
Actually, I went to go see Mortal Kombat. It was a weird experience being in the cinema with barely anybody, but
Oh,
what
yeah?
cinema's open?
the one down over on the street there.
That's how I usually go anyway. I always go
Schoolhouse.
matinee, first movie of the day. I always do that. I never go at nighttime. I always go daytime, empty theater. I'm a loner. I'm a loner.
I'm like that too, man. Go
Yeah.
VIP, sit alone.
Yeah.
Whatever. Have my hot dog.
Yeah, right. Just fucking sit in the big ass theater with the one nobody's in there. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh man, I remember.
You don't like having the post movie conversation about the
No,
movie?
I don't like going to movies with people
I'll
unless you go with me alone in the theater.
I'll tell you a funny story real quick. So Man of Steel came out, all right, and this is when I'm
Right,
back
okay.
in Niagara Region, Ontario, right?
Is that Nicolas Cage?
No,
He never did it. Brandon Ruth.
Oh, okay.
No, it was Henry Cavill. Man of
Oh,
Steel.
the first
Oh,
one
Man
that
of
he
Steel.
did.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Just came out, right? I'm like, yo, I want to celebrate. I had a big win. I got a nice royalty check from the UK. And I invite all my friends to come out to the cinema. And this is where, friends that don't know how to support. I bought out the cinema. It's not a big cinema. It was in the mall. It's not really a big theater, but it's enough for like 200 people, right? So I bought every seat. I sat alone in that cinema, man, watching that movie. Nobody showed up.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Dude, I can say everyone that I've met that has met you says the same shit. You're fucking generous to a fault. All the time.
I appreciate that, but
Yeah.
I'm also, when it comes down to business, I'm really cutthroat. I'm nice, but don't let the kindness fool you. Like
Well, that's usually the Achilles heel of somebody, right? Of something is your complete opposite. Like,
Yeah.
is that the ruthless guy is the most generous person.
I'm ruthless when it's like when something is wrong, then I'm ruthless,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
when it needs to be appointed, or like, yo, I'm going to tell you straight up. But as Alite as you know too, I'm pretty humble.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
for sure.
people, when I'm walking down the street, people ain't gonna be like, yo, there's Sikadime, the fucking rap superstar. And nah, nobody's gonna say that. I've learned over the course of time that a lot of people missed my peak. A lot of people missed my prime time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They missed because of social media. Like, it
Technology.
wasn't around back in 2000.
Yeah.
And the last thing I did majorly, aside from the Interscope thing, was the Death Row, the Cypress Hill thing.
You got to have a real artist's experience.
Yeah.
Being with labels, being with legends.
Dude, you like literally live the life that probably all artists would love.
Oh,
to
dude,
have.
fuck! Can you imagine having a death row chain? Get the fuck out of here!
I still got my Death Row chain.
Dude, I fucking had a fake death row chain.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here! That's insane, man.
So, can you tell us how the day you got the chain?
So when
Like what happened?
So I signed all my contracts. So my mom had to sign on my contract too, because when I signed to Death Row, I was only 17.
Oh shit!
Right. So
Underage.
That's
With death
crazy.
row.
but I was already like starting college, right? So I was starting. I graduated high school early. And I picked to go to, because in my contract was for me to go to college as well. So I picked a 6-month audio engineering program in multimedia production. Graduate that. After that, the next day I'm on my flight to LA
Oh wow!
and lived in Sherman Oaks and Van Nuys for a bit. Damn, that's really good stuff, man.
Rap a weed.
But yeah, the day I landed and actually Suge picked me up from the airport.
Oh wow! The man himself picked you up.
Yeah.
Night.
See, this is when I wish iPhones were around then, because I would have
Yeah.
filmed the whole fucking
Wow.
experience. Right?
So you're
I
coming
had
off-
a Kodak camera,
Are
man.
you coming off a
$12
private plane or like a?
No, I
regular
took
plane?
I took WestJet.
Okay, so you're coming off,
I was.
and you're
Yeah.
rolling down the tarmac, and there's Suge down there
Suge Knights.
waiting
Oh no, he was outside at like
outside.
he was circling around until I came through.
Oh, was he driving?
Yeah.
Oh, he was driving, eh? Fucking gangster.
Because here's the thing,
Likes
my mom on the phone said, "You better fucking take care of him, or I'll hunt you down." He was afraid of my mom.
Wow, crazy. Was that
Real
normal
shit,
back
real
then?
shit,
Did they
man.
do that? Did they just fly guys in and fly kids in and young people?
All the fucking
Did you
time,
ever, Did
man.
you ever see young people like at your age at that time?
Dude, Shaheem was 14, man, when he was fucking rapping with Wu-Tang.
The other person like down in LA that I know is around the same age as me is this cat named Coca Shane.
Jesus.
Dude, Daz Corrupt, all these dudes were all fucking babies.
Well,
when
that
they
was the
started
thing.
with Death
Corrupt
Row.
was vice president when I was.
Right. This is before the fucking lawsuit.
Yeah.
Before he took Death Row for every fucking penny. Dude, he deserved it.
Wow.
Daz made all the fucking music.
He's the most talented fucking
He
guy,
is the
man.
most underrated, underappreciated architect of West Coast music.
Yeah.
Dude, the whole fucking All Eyes on Me
Yeah.
album was all Daz. All the Dog Pound shit, all the Snoop Dogg shit, it's all Daz.
He's a real genius, eh? Behind it.
But he cashed out on that lawsuit.
Yeah, Corrupt. Yeah.
$100 fucking million.
$100 million?
$100
Damn,
million.
he must have
I don't
felt
even
great.
think he got that because I'll tell you about the day. So the day I landed in LA was March 28, 2003. And by June 2003, when I went to the Death Row office, the place was boarded up. It was
Yeah.
chained up. IRS had closed, like, they're like, you can't go anywhere.
Damn.
Go back to my condo. That's chained up because it was Death Row property.
Shite.
Fuck. But
I had $122 in my pocket that day, and that was not a comforting feeling.
that's terrifying. So, okay, he didn't get a payout, but he got the whole fucking catalog. The whole Death Row catalog, and is valued at like $100 million.
No, the catalog switched hands many times.
Yeah, I heard now
thought
now it's
Ray J
owned by
has it.
Disney or something, right?
It's owned by Hasbro.
Hasbro, that's it. Some
Hasbro.
fucking weird ass shit like
But
that.
I was lucky enough 2-3 years ago. I got in contact with some my former A&R, that Joe from the Row. We were able to get my from Entertainment One before it got sold to Hasbro.
Right.
Get some of my masters back. So out of the 16 tracks, I only got 11 tracks back.
Mm-hmm.
The one with NF2 LA, which features a whole bunch of cats. But I had to like remix and remaster because some were DATs, some were CDRs, some were just WAV files.
Fucking waste time.
So,
Damn.
You know what Hasbro's
But-
going to do with them?
but I got it back before Hasbro like got them. So
What the fuck are they? They're a toy company. What the fuck are they gonna do with it?
You know damn well
nothing.
they're going to do
It's
I
just an
already-
investment. It's just an investment. It's just for
It's
them to
gonna
hold
sit.
on,
It's gonna sit on the shelf.
sit, and let somebody want to buy it.
It's fucking sad.
Okay, this is what will happen in the future. your child is going to be like, Mommy, do you remember the old school? Yes, I remember the old school. And there's be this toy where it opens up, and a hologram
rolling
comes out
down
of
the street.
Tupac. Yeah, here, let me show you.
That makes me
New
so
from
sad.
Hasbro, 90s rap.
Please never happen. Whoever you are out there, don't fucking make it happen. Don't make that shit
Holograms.
happen.
Or maybe it's
I don't
one of
wanna see
those
that
like
shit.
workable vans or something, a Tonka truck that
Yeah,
plays.
plays the music. They'll use it.
Fuck, stop.
They'll license.
Bastardize the music.
90s hip hop vehicles, right? Like it'll be something.
That's so gross.
Well, here's the funny thing. I re-released those 11 tracks. They're on. Has it sold? No. Because people missed the prime.
Right.
So, and the thing is, nobody's interested in that shit. That's how I learned about me. It was like nobody's wants to listen to the past shit. They want to.
Yeah, that's tough. That's tough, man. Because you know what, you put the work in. You made a fucking product that's supposed to last.
You listen to me rap back then. You're like, oh, Tristan was very. I just said my government name, Tristan, but you'll be like, Sikadime was very complex as a rapper.
Were you on some gangsta shit back then, or?
I was more like lyrical, like Chino XL.
Oh, right, okay.
Like not flow wise, but like intricate into the beat, like in the pocket.
Yeah,
type thing.
yeah, hell yeah.
And like sometimes some double time flow and all that, but it wasn't like it was more like dead in the middle, little Italy, little did we know we're riddle to middle man didn't do diddly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with that shit, man. I'm obsessed with the writing process. I'm obsessed with making the fucking every word fit in the bar the way it's supposed to. I'm obsessed. Every time I write, man, that's my goal, is to make it as intricate as possible. There's so many fucking words to use in the English language, man. And I think rappers sell themselves short when they don't use vocabulary.
No, especially when they're rapping hysterical and miracle too many fucking times.
It's
Man.
not, and it's part of it's that we rely on cliches. Rappers rely on so many fucking cliches.
And
so many club cliches, riding cliches, rolling cliches, smoking cliches. There's very little like progression off of the cliches, and so much rap makes me fucking mad.
Yeah. Whereas I have a lot of respect for you because you go and talk about social stuff. You talk it from not a black background or a white background like other rappers. You talk about it from a Fijian background, so I respect that.
Yeah, man. I was blessed to be around people that were very revolutionary minded when I first started writing, and that's what it captured, man. We were in a place where we could like be around people that were at protests every weekend, fighting for some kind of a cause, fighting for something all the time. Just fucking obsessed with it.
I think that's where I had the problem with the labels because the labels didn't know how to fucking market me. Like, I know the reason why Suge had me on the label. It's like, oh, this guy's a white boy. And then they find out, oh, he's not white. What the fuck is he? Oh, he's fucking, as they like to call it, they like to call me Chicano down there, but I'm not Chicano. I'm Hispanic on my dad's side. Hispanic and English, and on my mom's side, my mom's fucking black, man. My mom's black and biracial, right?
Yeah,
so it's like they didn't know how to fucking market me. Same way when I was rolling with Cypress Hill, they're like, "Yo, Latin hip hop," but
Because that's their thing. That's their lane.
yeah,
Yeah.
but nobody knew how to give me. So I created my own lane. I'm just gonna be me, do me, say fuck everything else, and just keep going, right?
And in hip hop, I think that's so fucking important because, like I said, there's so many cookie cutter, typical same shit rappers. And I'm telling you, man, every fucking song I write, I try to use different flows every single time. I try to make it as complex as possible, even if in sometimes it's not gonna be like always listenable for everybody. And I know that shit when I write it. I know this is not gonna be a fucking mainstream song, but I write it because I want hip hop heads to hear it and be like, fuck yeah.
Well, that's why, like in my later life, I just like toned it down and like went Snoop Dogg style, you know, like just keep it simple and flowy, you know,
That's
and funky.
the beat that people remember, right? They just like they feel good. And
But dude, when I have fucking dope rappers tell me that shit that I wrote was dope to them, that's the dopest shit to me.
Yeah.
There's very few things that are better than having an artist that you think is awesome tell you that your shit is dope. That's it's magic.
That's the thing. I won't get my roses here in Canada. I never did. Like let's go back to 2003. There was only 3 Canadian rappers, 3 Canadian MCs that had U.S. deals.
Fuck.
Shot Claire, Socrates, and me.
It's crazy.
Who do everybody talk about?
Mm-hmm.
Socrates and Choclair.
Yeah.
Or Cardinal, you know. Well, Cardinal got his U.S. deal later on, but
Mm-hmm.
but I remember when, so I've known Socrates when I was 15 too. I remember
So you grew up out east.
Well, I'm born and raised out here,
Mm-hmm.
right? It was when I was 15 I moved east,
Mm-hmm.
right? So like, my first concert I go to is Choclair concert.
Yeah, it's dope.
Well, no, Rascals and Citizen Kane, but then
Citizen
Choclair,
Kane,
and that's how I met
shit.
Choclair and Socrates, right?
Mhm.
And Socrates just signed with Def Jam, with Redman's label,
Super talented.
Gilla
man.
House,
Socrates
right?
is so talented.
He played me this track called WKNY, which was featured later on Lyricist Lounge Volume 2 or something.
Yeah.
Or one of those mixtapes that came out in that time. But yeah, I heard that track before. I'm like, yo, how's it go? I heard you got the Def Jam deal. He's like, yeah, I got a track with Redman. Check it out. We're sitting in the green room and listening to the fucking track.
And he made music with Meth and Red for a long time afterwards.
Yeah.
He was a staple in their career. Yeah. Damn, man. That's some fucking Canadian hip hop history.
Yeah.
But a lot of people won't talk about me. They won't talk. I've been in studio with JD Era, Mike Moo, Choclair. I've seen a lot of behind the scenes stuff in the Toronto scene and Niagara, Hamilton, the whole Canadian kind of mecca of hip hop.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
But a lot of people don't know. Even when I was on death row, me and Classified's old manager Ryan King, we were talking about linking up and doing stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, yeah, come down to LA, or you want me to come up to Halifax, right?
So,
Yeah.
bro, do you think you got blocked out?
I feel like I got blacklisted
Do you think
because
you
of the Death Row Association.
Really, eh? But do you think it went systematically deeper than that? Like, be honest, man. Do you think, the fact you weren't dark enough for hip hop
Oh, I always say
at the point of time when you were out,
Yeah.
because that was a real growth time of rap.
well, yeah, because Eminem was the big thing, right?
Yeah.
Everybody wanted a white boy on the label, and it was like,
But you weren't, though. You were
Yeah.
such mixed race, right? And so that's where it kind of feels like when you go Socrates, Cardinal, why don't they remember you? When you have way more music than them. Your catalog's fucking way bigger than them. And probably more accolades than them if you really break it down.
yeah. We'll talk about Choclair and Mike Moose. Mike Moose used to be Shock's former DJ. He was also my manager for a bit.
Yeah.
We're all tight. Bishop Brigante. It was a nice little circle
Yeah.
of friendship, right? But even on my birthday one year at Choclair's crib, we're eating chili, talking about how he could succeed independently if he wanted to go that route, right? But yeah, he's got the Junos. I got everything in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Plaques, I got more. We were talking about this stuff, and I'm like, well, it's all about which way you want to go.
Right. This is what the media and the fucking internet and everything does.
But every year when CBC comes out with the top 25 Canadian artist list, I'm always off it. I know. I'll tell you straight up what Daryl Rodway from Urbnet Records told me. He's like, what can I do for you that you're already doing for yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, I could have signed with Urbnet so many times.
Mm-hmm.
But he's like, I can't do nothing with you that you're already doing and achieving on yourself.
Yeah. Weird. Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we've had like a handful of local
Yeah.
artists that had deals. Cannabis had a deal with an American label and put out a fucking pretty dope album, man, with a lot of really dope features. He had Too Short on his album. He had Dad's Corrupt on his album. It's actually a really good collection of hip-hop from a Canadian artist. But outside of that, it's so... like, Drake blew up and then Toronto followed, right? And fucking made him like a permanent fixture. There's never been an artist that's had that here. Even Merc, who's fucking huge.
Yep.
It's
Moderately.
It's not the city that's doing it. He's getting all of the attention everywhere else in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely behind. The city's lacking for sure.
Is the whole country, because like the thing is, like down in the States you can do a tour. I did a 3-week North American tour, so easy to get around the whole US for less than $900. out of your own pocket, and I made $6,000 on top of, through merch and all the shows, right? But I started in Brooklyn and ended. I actually ended the whole tour back in like Vancouver, Calgary, Toronto, right? But I did down the East Coast, along the South, LA, back up.
Just got to take a chance on yourself.
Yeah. Well, I had that was when I signed a distribution deal with Interscope, and we were writing off 2 singles, right? Esquire and I'll Be Will You back in 2012. Esquire did better than I'll Be Will You because pretty much I'll Be Will You music video was just old footage just put together of tour life, right?
Performances and stuff.
But that's what that song is all about. But Esquire did pretty freaking well for within that time. So I'm like, yo, I'm this was when Sonic Beats was big, right? So I like applied to perform at South by Southwest.
Right.
They came back and said, okay, you're at the second stage. I'm like, okay, so this year is my year. I'm probably feeling good. So I already started
It's
booking.
big, man. South by Southwest.
I started booking like the Road to Southwest tour, right? Down the East Coast and to Austin, right? And I'm like, you know what? Let's make it, worthwhile and come up from the Southwest and up the West Coast back to the Northwest, because I already had like a show in Harrison Hot Springs booked. It was the Underground Railroad or not Underground Railroad. It was some spot, okay. And
It's worked out the chronic.
yeah, I can't remember the name. I'll probably remember the name like tomorrow.
On your way home.
Same like I couldn't remember my bank card number the other day, and I'm like at the ATM, like what the fuck? And then
you're not a toker.
Next day, I'm just like, shit.
And you're not a toker.
No,
You never have been.
no. It's just I'm getting older, man.
But even
It's
all the
simple.
times that we've hung out, I think we forced you once to have a toke. I think you've had like a random toke here and there,
Yeah,
but that's it.
that's it. I'm never like back in high school, like before my senior year. Yeah, I smoked a lot of weed, but then it just like phased away from me.
Left your life.
And then after that night in LA, I'm like, yo, fuck drugs, man. Let's do something smart. Like seeing that dude do line of blow like that is like,
shit.
It's crazy when you're
and
that
then,
young.
and then when I'm finding out how much an 8-ball costs, it's like, oh damn,
Yeah.
I could do better
cocaine,
stuff
yo.
with my money. You know
Don't
what I
fuck
mean?
with the yayo, man.
Don't
Stick
do
with
it.
the greens.
Don't do it.
The greens are so good.
So like, what was I saying?
That's how good the greens are. The greens are so good to make you forget what the fuck you were saying.
So yeah, back to do I feel like punched in the gut from the Canadian society? Yeah, at times. But at the same time, I'm just like, I was never meant for it here.
Yeah.
But you still want to give back to artists. I see you give back to artists a lot, including myself. You really go out of your way to help people. That's you're still not soured off enough to do that.
No. Like I said, I didn't even get nominated for any Canadian Indie Awards. All right, well, guess what? How many times have I been snubbed for a Juno nomination?
So what's the secret then to getting nominated? Like, what are you seeing that artists have to do?
I don't know. Like half the other artists on the list that I saw that got nominated, I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck they are. The only group I recognized was Snotty Nose Res Kids.
So here's how I feel about it. Okay, I have a fucking album that I'm working on that's gonna be a amazing product, and I know it's gonna be and I know it's gonna be amazing. I don't give a fuck about the Junos. I don't give a fuck about none of these awards.
Yeah.
If people buy the music and stream the music and like them, that's all I give a fuck about. I don't care if some board likes it.
Most of my awards
I
are
don't
from the U.S., man.
Like the
most of my
Grammys, the
plaques are from other
Billboards,
countries.
the American Music Awards, none of these things they're meaningless now. Did you see the Oscars? Did you see how the Oscars went down?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Dude, the award shows are irrelevant. They're a relic. They're dying a slow deth.
But it's nice to have on the resume.
Yeah, it would be.
Like,
but
Yes.
no,
Yes,
I'll
it
tell
still
you on
matters.
my actual when my voice just did something weird. So our company that we work for, right? When I went for the interview, they were asking me about my achievements. So I was actually they're
Right.
like, "Do you really have a platinum plaque and Grammy nominated album? Like that's
kind of a
the
random.
most random thing they've ever seen before. Like they've seen like bowling league championship, right?
That's hilarious.
But then they see something like that.
It's a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Like I always look at it like this. When my kid has friends over when he's older and wants to talk about something like, yeah, my dad did
pretty
this,
cool.
this, and this.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's dope.
I want him to show that off, to be proud of me.
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
what happens if I die tomorrow?
Yeah.
At least he can see I left a legacy to him.
And dude, I can tell you, having some grown-up ass kids, there's nothing more incredible than your kids thinking that you're dope,
Yeah.
right? When they talk, the way they talk about you to other people.
Yeah.
When you hear that shit, that's dope.
Oh,
that's
that's
that's the dope
Yeah.
shit.
Like my dad was my superhero. I talk about him still to this day. Rest in peace.
We've had some dad conversations on this.
Oh yeah. Fuck.
Mine didn't exist.
Yeah.
And it's so weird how it sets you up for the way you view men as you get older in the future.
Well, especially if you have a daughter.
Right.
Especially if you have a daughter.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. We were just 3 boys. We just had nonstop testosterone in the household.
Yeah.
It's chaos.
Yeah.
Fucking chaos.
Yeah, I bet. So you're retired now from everything. So what's the new thing you're gonna make? Because you can't just sit still.
Riding off into the
No,
sunset.
I'm writing I'm writing books. Like
Are you gonna write a book?
I
You already
wrote.
did. You already did.
I did. I got it published, but I got we're having a little trouble right now with Amazon because I got to take it back down and reformat it as a print book for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay,
They
so-
have certain dimensions for their books.
So I'm learning that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like I only meant it to be a pamphlet as a starter to see how it is. So it's right now called Hustler's Gospel, a survival guide for the indie artist. A guide for the indie artist, right? And I only just talk about like 3 things that I primarily
important things.
still focus on to this day, except we're in a pandemic, so I don't.
Right.
One is the trunk and pop-up shop. Right. So when I was in high school, I sold out of my locker. Like my locker was this one-stop shop. You get candy, mixtapes. I have friends that had like LimeWire and Napster, so they were like, I'm like, yo, make me this mixtape, mix CD, add my songs onto it, and sell these burnt CDs because I didn't have a computer or internet or anything. I didn't know that shit. I didn't get internet or a computer till 2006.
Yeah.
And then when I did, I Googled the shit out of Google.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, my locker was the pop-up shop, right? It was like you get condoms, I hustled, man. I even had a cooler with Island Stingers in there.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
crazy.
you want to drink at lunch? Right here, man, $5. Boom, boom, boom. Right?
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't sell drugs, but I sold liquor at school.
Everything else.
And tapes and shirts and condoms. Yeah.
That's pretty good. That's a good entrepreneur.
And cigarettes
like,
too. Cigarettes, yeah.
Some hustle.
So, then when I got my driver's license, changed the game.
Oh,
like,
fuck yeah.
because I also at that time I was doing I'm sending off demos, right? And I sent a demo off to Dope House Records, South Park Mexican, Baby Bash's old label
Right.
down in Houston, and I'm learning a lot of game from Houston cats, right? And I'm doing street team stuff for Psychological. For my buddy was on Necro's team, so I helped him out with his stuff. And then Urbnet Records, I did Troopa's album, not Classified, but Eternia. And that's how I know Eternia, because me and her are type 2, right? So I'm doing all this stuff, right? And, living in Niagara at the time, you have 3 Niagara College campuses. You have Brock University. Then you have
Shit.
Hamilton with
A lot of young people.
McMaster and stuff like that, right? So it's like you got all the realm of like pushing content very easy
Huge.
in the area, right?
Huge.
Plus you got Buffalo, right? So I pretty much take all this merch that I'm getting from all these labels, got the trunk, go set up shop in a parking lot at each mall, like Lime Ridge Mall in Hamilton, Seaway Mall in Welland, whatever the fucking Penn Center in St. Catharines and so forth, right? Burlington and so forth. You know, setting up shop, right? Selling some merch, but then I get told from Dope House, like how we do down in Houston is we set up shop at a flea market or a swap meet, right? I'm like, okay, so I get. It's easy to rent a booth at a swap meet or a flea market.
Shitload of people go to those things, man.
For like $25 a day or something like that, right? Next thing you know, I'm selling my merch and all that, and I kept doing that all around Toronto, Niagara, and all that. Every Sunday, set up.
Tale right there.
So
that's a mentality.
Yeah, and I've been telling cats like, why don't you just get a booth at Vancouver, set up our shop, have
So you've always had this mentality.
Yeah, since I was 16.
From the get go.
Whenever I got my driver's license, yeah. So
that's crazy. Well, you've had to have that. Like that was the grind. I think that's really missing with people today.
But then other artists, like there was punk bands that we performed with back in high school. They would give me their stuff too and sell it and for commission. So I'm making money off them too.
Yeah,
and that's how independence works.
You're business minded like that. Honestly, for me, man, I just want to fucking perform.
I miss performing.
The whole hustle part of the art doesn't appeal to me. The fucking making the music and performing the music, that's where my fucking heart is. Yeah. I need a fucking one of those dudes that just fucking I need a Dame Dash.
You need a Dame Dash?
Yeah, one of those guys that just kicks down the doors and just
Yeah, but I'll dance with the Cristal on the yacht though. I will dance with Cristal on the yacht.
Because if it wasn't for Dame Dash, there'd be no Jay-Z.
No,
Jay-Z would not exist.
Well,
Dame literally ripped off door hinges for Jay-Z.
Yeah, but is the beef between Jay-Z and Biggs?
Yeah.
Jay-Z didn't want to share money with Biggs anymore. He just wanted to be him and Dame Dash.
Yeah, I've heard so many versions of the story. It's hard to know which one. Because Jay-Z hasn't really come out about this. He's been very quiet about this. Everybody else has talked about it.
Anybody that okay, so, I've been in New York a few times too, right? So whenever you get inside the inner circle in New York, like you start to know certain things. I won't comment on some things, but but Jay-Z just he pretty much wanted Rockefeller just to be a two-man team at this point now.
Shit. And I know Cameron was coming on to the scene at this time. Dipset was coming on really aggressively, making a lot of noise. But dude, Jay to me, man, but even what he's doing now, top 3 greatest of all time for sure.
Oh yeah,
guys, next level.
Who's your Mount Rushmore?
My Mount Rushmore?
Yeah.
I don't have one yet. I just don't like.
You don't have top 5?
No, because I have my top 5. My number 1 is always going to be Ice-T. Just because of
Ice-T?
Just because of his transition in life, I look up to him as a light-skinned dude for one thing. Second,
radioactive light skin. Yeah. He's straight up white.
Yeah, when he was younger, he was really white.
Yeah, crazy.
Freckles and shit.
Yeah.
And like his transition, and how he made his whole ordeal of life and positive and like, how I say
he lived a crazy fucking life, yo. Before he became a rapper, he was in the streets doing some crazy shit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But
it's bad.
Like I follow him on Twitter, and every day I'm reading something like positive and like insightful from him.
From cop killer to a fucking cop.
That's how it goes. That's the life transition.
And he still performs those cop killer tracks.
Yeah.
He still does I mean, not during COVID, but up until COVID, he does festivals.
Body Count finally won a Grammy.
Yeah, it's weird.
They did win
this past year.
Nas did too. His first.
Yeah. Wow, what did they win it for?
The heavy metal album of the year.
Yeah.
What?
Still making music. That's See, that's what I mean by their irrelevance. The fact that Nas just got his first fucking Grammy after the catalog of music that Nas has won Grammy.
Yeah. I still say I Am should have won.
Straight token Grammy, man.
I Am should have won a Grammy.
Dude, see, they're so fucking irrelevant, man. And I get it. I get the sentiment of it. Artists still want a fucking piece of it. Maybe once COVID is gone and they start doing the big elaborate, red carpet celebrations again, people will start to feel the nostalgia, but they're so fucking irrelevant, man. They're just dying. Breed. Before we do bounce out of here, did you see the fights at all?
No, I didn't see the fights.
Neither of you guys saw the fights. So you see Kamaru Usman punch fucking Jorge's face into the next week.
I'm too busy grinding, fucking 7 days a week, man. I don't have time
But
for
you need
fights.
some respite. You need
I'm
some
fighting.
respite. You need some peace of mind.
No.
And seeing Valentina Shevchenko dominate and Rose Namajunas kick Wei Li Zhang's head off was fucking amazing shit. It's just me, y'all. It's just me. But we should do some of these top 3 questions. Let's look at them.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, what's the top 3?
Yeah, go. You go first.
Sure. Okay. Top 3. All right. So top 3 things you would rather be doing right now.
Shave my balls.
.com.
.ca.
No, it's .com.
It's .com.
Yeah, it's .com.
Top 3 things I'd rather be doing.
Be doing right now in life, like things you'd love to be doing right now. You're retired, so you have this option, right? So,
you know what? I've always wanted to sail a boat across the ocean.
Oh,
damn.
crazy. Yeah,
I'm scared of the ocean.
me too.
Yeah, terrifying. It's too fucking big.
It's wet.
Hey man, if that
Sponsors
Megalodon's out there, I want that picture. I want that selfie.
That shit, keep that shit. Okay, if you had to take,
What was the way? He only said one though. What, do you have anything else? Is that it? You just want to sail?
I've always wanted to learn how to make a donut.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
I've actually applied as a part-time employee to Tim Hortons and got turned away because that was actually the reason why I applied. I just wanted to learn how to make donuts.
It's a good TV show.
So,
Anything else?
I've always wanted to go do Mount Kilimanjaro.
Oh, shit.
fuck.
Two of those are
hard
pretty
as
tough.
fuck, yo.
2 hard as fuck things.
Yeah.
One thing you should have fucking already
I ain't
known
fucking
how
with
to
either
do.
of them.
Making a donut. You should know how to make a fucking donut by now. That's not fucking sailing a boat around the world, dude.
Yeah, I finally just got mac and cheese right.
I want to climb Mount Everest. I want to fucking sail across the world, and I want to make a donut.
I'm a pretty random dude. Like,
Yeah, that is
priorities.
random. That's good.
Okay,
All right,
so
you go, yeah.
if you had an opportunity to be signed to a label, I know it's not your nature because you're an independent, but what hip hop label would you have chosen?
I've already been signed to the most powerful one that
So
was
the
ever
Row,
on the
if there
West
was ever
Coast.
It's
For-
the Row. That would have been your choice.
was always. See, the funny thing about me and the Row was I was also trying to be signed to Battle Axe. Abstract Rude was trying to get me on after opening for them and Swollen Members in St. Catharines.
Right.
He was trying to get me on, and since I already knew like Mocha from back in the day and Prev, they were trying to get me on the label.
That's dope.
But I don't know what happened. Like Death Row offered the check first. Death Row Battle Axe never offered anything, and they never came back.
So
with a reply?
this was a lead up question to what the actual top 3 question is. If you could take 3 of your albums that you would pitch to a label, which 3 albums would you choose?
They missing out when they're not here. The Wooden Spiral Staircase in a Glass House. And Ice Mirages. Ice Mirages was dope for its time.
Shit. So you have a pitch ready.
Yeah. It's pretty good. Good to have that selection.
I got one more top 3 for you before we head out of here. We asked this question to everybody, and everyone's responses surprised me. So, do you believe in afterlife? Do you believe there's something after this?
I believe... I have this theory, and I read about it one time, and I believe this is actually a possibility. I believe the moment we see... Well, I've already been like stabbed and shot. I've already flatlined on the table. I've already been dead for 2 minutes and 32 seconds before. So, did I see any white light? No, I woke up with a fucking headache. I do believe when it does come to our time that we all know we're going to pass away, we give kind of sudden little sense. And I know I've been living on borrowed time for a long time. All right. If we do see that white light, I think that white light is actually us as rebirth coming through the womb, or through the clit, through childbirth. And the reason we come out crying is because we're actually crying that we're leaving our past life.
Oh,
I don't want to restart.
Was that too
this
deep?
shit.
No,
Well, I mean that's
dope as
the lead up question was
Vagina
that
is the
I
black.
don't want to come
The
back
white
over and
light.
over again. I don't want to come back over and over
Moon Dog.
again. I want to go somewhere else. But if you had to choose 3 albums to take with you to the afterlife, 3 artists' catalogs to take with you to the afterlife, what 3 artists would you choose?
Oh
Which
shit!
there
I
is-
know.
Which
I know.
there isn't an
Okay.
afterlife. So
Too Short, Cocktails,
Damn.
Ice-T, OG Original Gangster, and Ice Cube's Death Certificate.
Oh,
Oh,
shit,
that's
that's a good fucking lineup.
yeah,
That's a good lineup. You said there's no afterlife?
yeah. There is no afterlife. So you're not taking anything
I think-
with
Hmm.
you.
Well, I read a lot about quantum theory and,
Yeah,
and physics
some
and quantum leaping, right?
Some
and like,
shit.
if we fold back time, we can actually go back in time,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So, as you say, there's no really afterlife. You just continuously live in life through different
I don't
through
want
different
that.
realms.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
Keep
Like
that shit.
every time you die and you're born as a child, as a baby again, coming through
Fuck
childbirth.
off. That sounds like a nightmare.
So we're,
Right.
so
That
we're
sounds like
this
a fucking
unicorn.
nightmare.
So we're a bunch of fucking magical
Dude, that's a
unicorns
nightmare.
walking around with this talent we don't know that we have this ability to appear through another woman's vagina.
Okay, but what do
when
you
we
what
die.
do you
That's
think?
like a
Let's just hope it's a
superpower.
shaved vagina.
You just think it's black?
It's just dead. Look. Dead.
So disappointing.
But-
Gravity took that to the ground. It's what it will do to us when we have no life. It will suck us to the
Which is
fucking
physics, but at some point
so
that can is
sad.
going to get picked up.
ground. Yes, it is.
So sad.
Yeah. That's the body getting picked up and dumped into a hole.
Until someone can disprove that energy cannot be created or destroyed,
Yeah.
until that theory is dead, I'll believe in an afterlife.
Maybe it's all around us. Fuck, man. Maybe it's just all
But
the dead people. are
but here's the
floating around.
thing: what really makes up energy? Now this is
No,
where
we
we
don't
get,
fucking know.
We could get really
We
deep,
don't fucking know.
It's
right?
all- it never dies.
We know voltage creates
Atoms,
electricity.
particles.
We know if we rub our hands, this is energy right now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's go back to like grade 10, grade 10 chemistry class, right? Or biology, or however you want to, physics, whatever. So motion is energy. Breathing is energy. Just even looking is energy. Everything,
Yeah.
even just sitting is energy. Energy is not measured. Can't be measured, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, E equals MC squared and blah, 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 and applied time and Fibonacci tables and shit like that, right? Like, look, I'm no math genius. Like I said, I'm a street dude. I did well how I did well, but I don't study graphs and shit like that. I'm not no mathematician. I'll tell you that.
That's Mike's pastime. He studies graphs.
2 + 2 = 5.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
not going to
wait.
argue.
I gotta say Fibonacci because both of you said Fibonacci. and I
Fibonacci.
felt- Yeah, Fibonacci.
It's an
Sorry.
algorithm of sequence numbers and how you intertwine them.
I was just calling for our common viewer. Who had no
You guys
idea
are
what that fucking
idiots.
word
You know what the
was.
fuck they're talking
Couldn't
about.
even spell it.
You know we know what
It's
the fuck we're talking about.
FIBERNACE, Fibonacci.
Oh, nice.
It was in the Da Vinci Code. There we go. That's a perfect example
That's a
of.
great fucking book.
Okay, so since you're on topics of pretending to die and going to an afterlife,
Ouch.
here's my 3
Cold
top
ass
3
motherfuckers.
people. If you did perhaps something for some reason happens and you die and you go to a place called heaven, that's
No,
apparently really
no,
white
no heaven.
and it's really and everyone's in fucking toga gear and everything's cool. And the afterlife,
everything's
somebody
free.
meets you. What 3 people would you want to meet you?
Mm.
And this is part of the new Welcome to the
Interesting.
Afterlife program they have.
Oh, so am I arriving in hell or heaven?
It doesn't matter. It really is. It's really like it's. I guess it depends on your choice,
Introduction to Heaven program.
right?
Okay. Is it already
Did your
people that are
scout?
already dead? Or?
Yeah, these people are dead and they
Okay.
have nothing to do, and they're like willing to do it.
You know what?
They volunteered
For
in heaven.
the first
to give
3,
people
the
tours.
first 3 people I'm like checking for is
Yeah.
Chadwick Boseman. I want to say what's
Ah.
up, Black Panther.
Oh yeah,
You know,
Chadwick.
it's very tragic
Got
about
burned
him.
for the
And-
Oscar.
Yeah.
Oh man, have you seen 21 Bridges? That's
Yeah,
such a
he's
great
dope.
movie.
Yeah.
He's dope. He's super talented.
I definitely want to see. See, I was never really a Tupac fan. That was the thing too.
and
Like,
you work for the bro.
yeah. No, I was
Breaks my heart when
always
people say that.
like I like Biggie. I know this is the weird.
I get
Just
it.
because of
Biggie's
his
dope.
flow, he was and
Fucking always outnumbered.
What if Biggie showed up and he was super skinny, like super fucking skinny? He was like, wait a minute. People don't call me Biggie anymore.
No, I'd be like, dude, we call you Smalls Biggie?
Yeah.
Dude, a part of Biggie's appeal is the fact that he sounds fat.
Yeah, he did.
His voice is like.
But what if he did that and you saw him and he was like a really chiseled kind
It'd
of
be so weird.
angel?
I guess Shine.
I love it when they call me Big Papa. Only smoke blunts that are go proper.
He's kind of like, I guess Shine is like a skinny Biggie.
Yeah.
Shine sounds like
All right,
that.
who's number
Bad
3?
boys.
Who's person number 3?
You know what? After this whole past week, 2 weeks of death, I would love to chop it up with Shock G. Rest in peace.
Oh, shit.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
that was
R.I.P.
really tough,
Shock G.
man. 50 years old.
57?
Was he 57?
Yeah, dude, he's.
How'd he die?
They haven't said yet.
Oh,
They
wow,
haven't
that's
disclosed it.
tragic.
Yeah, it is tragic. And it's funny because me and Queez do a podcast, just a straight hip hop podcast.
Yeah.
And our last episode, we were talking about how fucked up it is that hip hop legends don't live long lives. And dudes like, what's that fucking dude name from the Rolling Stones band? Not Mick Jagger, the other guy.
Oh, Keith
Keith
Richards.
Richards?
How is he alive?
I don't
How
know.
the fuck is he alive? I bet you've got a good medical plan.
Dude, they do blood transfusions.
He should be dead with all the drugs that
Organ
he did.
transplants.
Why is Fife dying of diabetes, man? Why does that shit happen? It's unacceptable. Hip hop should have something in place where artists can, like SAG. We were talking about it before, man. Like a hip hop version of SAG where artists can invest and make sure that they're covered after they stop selling records because it's going to happen one day.
We do. It's called the North American Musician Union. I don't know why people don't.
And it provides benefits for artists if they pay into it.
Yeah, and also like they do paperwork for you when you're crossing the border and all that. We also have one here in Canada. It's called the Canadian Academy of Recording Arts and Sciences.
Yeah, well, fucking obviously people have no idea of these things.
I'm a member.
They're
I'm a member of both.
Well, we see it all the time in hip hop. So many hip hop artists are dying in like their middle ages. It's not like they live bad lives. It's not like they're drug addicts, but they're fucking not. They have no medical plans, no healthcare plans, and they're fucking dying early.
Well, that's because they spend it all on fucking houses and cars, and it's like they never, they like you said earlier, live outside their means, right? Like I remember watching a video like Dame Dash explaining how rappers go broke. Like if you watch the video on YouTube, how rappers go broke. You sign for $1 million, right? Right off the top, taxman, boom, 200,000,
shit,
or 400K or whatever, right? 600,000, 100K to your lawyer and lawyer fees. Now you have this look good fee and all this other stuff.
$1 million ends up being like 250K.
No less.
Yeah, that's horrible.
By the end of it, you're sitting at around $3,000. Even so, when I signed with Death Row, my signing was just 78,000 US, which was around that time 125, 26 and change here.
It's a good check,
right? First thing that came off, taxes in the U.S. and Canada.
Oh my God!
Rape you.
That sucked.
They rape you.
Then next thing you know was my lawyer fees. Next thing you know, well, the $78,000 is also your advance, right? So your signing bonus. This is what you're going to use to record your album, right? Well, luckily I produce my own beats, so I put some away from me. But I never spent it on a car. I never spent it on anything down there, right? So like pretty much the rest was all used for work
and promo and shit like that.
Wow,
yeah.
Crazy.
It's fucked up. They pay you and they make you pay for your own promotion and recording and all that other bullshit, and that's where artists get fucked.
Oh, the worst is when you get a billboard. When you take a billboard out. Why do you think Drake's started from the bottom billboard in Toronto was? I have a picture of it. Me in front of it was the longest standing billboard ever. It was up there for like number of years.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Because for $3,000 a month, you can make a statement with the billboard.
Wow,
it's big. That's a big fucking.
That's
budget.
how much usually it costs to rent a billboard. I remember when I was with Cypress Hill and Thug Music. Even though we had Universal backing SHAP Universal for distribution, we were still talking out of my own pocket for promo.
It's whack.
I'm like,
labels are whack.
On an indie tip,
Independence where it's at.
On an indie tip, you need about $10,000.
You just gotta hustle different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're lucky like me, when I came out Rejuvenated in 2006, just because of a typo on my chicken scratch. What was supposed to be 1,000 CDs ended up being 10,000 CDs. And you saw me sell the last CD of that Rejuvenated album. That was a long time to sell 25,000 CDs.
Wow, grind.
But I was lucky enough that 10,000 CDs sold not too hard for me because the moves I was making. I was making store be my distributor like CD Plus. So when you went into this CD Plus store, they look for that CD, they don't have it there. They order it from this store and they ship it over. Yeah. Right.
So you always have it moving.
Have it moving.
Yeah, that's where it's at. That's where it's at, man. Yeah. Artists can learn a lesson to be seasoned in the game and keep something going creatively.
Like, yeah, man. Like if you after I'm retired, but still I'm still earning. Like this pandemic didn't slow me down. I got into the mindset that hey, I got all this product. I can't do no shows. I can't sell this product. How am I going to move this product? Mm-hmm. Well, you know what? I'm going to roll up the Rolodex, contact all these stores around the world, and do consignment and say, hey, you want to do a 3-3-3 deal? Take 3 cassettes, 3 CDs, 3 vinyl. You pay this price. I'll cover the shipping, boom, boom, boom. But actually, they're paying for the shipping as well. And, you do the markup 30% over there.
It's details.
You just
the shit, man.
Just gotta be honest.
The shit.
It hasn't hurt me this pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
that's awesome, man. Good for you.
Playing right.
Good for you. It's always nice to have a friend that does that because we're not like that.
Yeah, no, the hustle game is different.
No, it's because we're so caught up in a fucking dream, right? And we know that the amount of time he's putting into that dream, we're doing the same on what we're doing.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah. And that's why we are so alike. But so far away. I admire this.
The hustle
human being.
Yeah. Like my biggest.
That's amazing.
This album's selling well in Australia.
Fucking Australia, eh?
I don't have it in anything here.
I still don't trust them.
I don't have any. I don't have this album in the store at Sunrise here. Like even though I can, but what's the point?
Yeah.
I know I can
put it where it's moving.
Put it where it's moving.
Yeah.
Greece. I didn't think Greece would pick up on having this album out there. But just get in touch
with on your grind, yo.
Just gotta get in touch with mom and pop stores and independent record stores and make sure they're willing to do it.
Because they're looking for interesting stuff too.
Well, it cost me what $1.50 to press up this cassette through duplication.ca, and then I got the CD done. But this is a cool CD.
And it looks dope, man. It looks really cool. Dope cover.
No. Have you seen the CD?
The physical CD itself?
It's a vinyl.
Oh, shit, okay.
All right.
Oh, that's dope.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's a great look, man.
Oh, fuck. That's insane, actually.
Right? Yeah, very well done.
So, cool too, with the tape, the blue tape.
Losers, Rejects, and Renegades.
So, and then the vinyl, right? I get the vinyl pressed up cheap. So, the most expensive thing that got pressed up is actually the vinyl, but at the cheapest, right? CD only cost me about $1.20 to press up. Cassette $1.50.
Sick.
And
the
vinyl about $3 a slab.
I still got a record player. This is gonna get some work. It's dope.
Now, the CD I sell for $10. The cassette I sell for $15 because it's limited edition blue, right? And the vinyl I sell for $25, $30, depending on the package I put out, right? So all 4 things, the shirt, the vinyl CD and all that, that's $75, right? Mm-hmm. All together, pressed up, even the shirt, we're looking at about $20.
Oh, shit.
So my markup.
It's a dope take.
Yeah, it's a good
markup is over. Now I'll give a deal to a store, be like, okay, you know what? I did this for $20. I'll give this to you for $30, and you mark up another 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So
win-win.
So I'm going to ask you this then. So if you have a lot of gear left over still, let's say a year from now, and you're like, oh, look at all this gear I have still, all this merch. Does that mean it's time to dust off the mic?
No,
and go drop another gem.
Never know where this guy's
to
going.
try to sell off the merchandise. Like, is it? Let me ask you something. Do you keep a box tucked in there that one day you're like, oh, I discovered a box full of merch. I better drop
Do a
another
show.
fucking 10 gems and do a show and dust off the mic. Do you feel that happening in the future?
No.
You're
If
done.
people want to book me for a show, they know the price they need to pay for me to come out. Because I'm a very homebody person. Like I love being with my son. So if you want me to take away my time away from my son and watching him grow up, you got to pay a price.
You bought that dad life.
Yeah.
I'm so far removed, man. I don't remember what that's like
Don't
anymore.
worry, not COVID, just chewing on the
just
gum a
chewing.
piece
Yeah.
one.
But my kids are dope. They know that.
Yeah,
So where can people find you if they want to find you on social media?
Just type in Sikadime. Google pop me up everywhere.
Sikadime.
Yeah, I know.
ALITE. ACDJ. He never likes saying his own name, so I'll say it for him. ACDJ.
I hope you're not sick of me.
You know,
Actually, that's what happened at a work show down in the States. They're just like,
Yes, I did.
Sikadime?
What?
I'm like, what the fuck?
What? Yeah.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Dude,
Sikadime!
I got called Alite.
Alite?
And I want to fucking smack the person. ALI is Ali. That's how I see it. Alite. It's very easy, you motherfuckers. That's
Alite.
why I started spelling it so people can understand. ALITE, elite. So I wouldn't hear Alite anymore.
Wow, that's bad.
Well, I'm surprised people don't pronounce elite as elite.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like it.
The English language is stupid.
Oh, the Queen's
The
language.
English language is stupid. Let's not get into the royalty. Fucking
Yes.
royal family. This is going to be a fun episode for y'all to watch once it's ready to go. You know where you can find us.
Oh, also, motherfuckers, learn how to do a press release, all right? Def Jam doesn't...
One more
I wasn't
gem.
expecting that.
One more jewel. One more jewel.
Okay, actually, I got like still a lot more, but I'm going to include them in a book for you guys. Learn how to type a press release, okay? Drop in fucking Spotify links on my page and tagging me and 699 other people ain't it worth it, all right? Def Jam doesn't drop the new Jay-Z album via FB, Twitter, and call it a day, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
They
that's
don't
true,
give a
eh?
fuck. They don't do that.
They talk, yeah.
Yeah.
They write it all up. That's why blogging is like one of the most important things you fucking do for anyone.
Get in music blogs, even though they're kind of like phasing out. Get on podcasts, get on music blogs.
Algorithms, baby.
Yeah, but don't play the numbers game. That ain't gonna work.
And just drive yourself insane.
Just do you, man.
Yeah.
Do what the fuck is you. Hate this posing
Let's
bullshit.
get out of here before this guy.
I hate this
crosses on
posing
film.
bullshit.
Before he
That was a
crosses
lot
on
of
film.
smoke.
We're gonna talk about it more on All Point Podcast.
We'll
But
have
we
you
ain't-
back again, bro.
Yeah, we don't
Thank
do no
you so much
fronts,
for
no
coming in.
fakes.
Oh, you're
No
quite
fronts, no
welcome. Thank you.
fakes. Sikadime, ACDJ, Elite, y'all. Peace.